And welcome everybody to another
exciting episode of the Terrorisk podcast. I'm Carmen here with my co-hosts Chris and Richie. How are you guys doing?
Yep, this is episode 182.
Wow.
On October 6th, 2025.
How many episodes have me in it, roughly?
A lot. The last one didn't have you. The last one I had Ariel and her partner come here.
Nice.
Her partner. She identifies as a Zionist. She's neurodivergent.
Yeah.
Identifies as neurodivergent.
I liked her a lot when I met her. I thought she was a cool person. Mm-hmm. I liked her partner a lot too.
Darren, yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys met my dad finally.
Yeah. It was great meeting your dad. What a charming character.
Yeah. Was he like what you expected?
Genuinely, yeah. He was exactly what, you had mentioned him enough times that I had a different perception initially when I met you. But definitely upon me, if I met him like a week after meeting you, I would have been more surprised. But after what you had said and all of that, I was not surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a cool guy. Richie, what'd you think of my dad?
Yeah, nice guy. They'll be more of a martial artist, honestly, but he's more like a Korean Hank Hill.
That's a very accurate description. That your dad is a perfect merger of Hank Hill, Cotton, and Khan.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I do know this. When he was there with you guys, he was like on his best behavior. He was being super nice.
Oh,
I figured that was the case because you kept making references to him being racist or edgy or whatever, or being deranged.
I don't think so.
You had before, even when we were there having dinner.
First of all, I wasn't making if I ever suggested such a thing, it wasn't an implication. It was true. He is fucking.
I believe you. I believe you. The way you mentioned it sounded almost kind of not goading of him, but
no, it was just to kind of open him up to, because he's met girls in my life before, and he was like, "Oh, should I watch what I say?" It's like stuff like that. He's been worried about stuff like that. It's just.
Did you tell him in advance he didn't have to watch what he said?
No, not like that. I just told him you were good boys, and I guess he took that in a way where I was like, they're good boys,
Ah, thanks. Well, I know both of us were doing our best. We're being as respectful as possible.
Yeah, honestly,
I guess everyone except you probably was holding back, honestly, during that wonderful night, actually. But, when me and Richie got out of the car, we walked up to him, we saw this Asian guy waiting there, looked like you, not just because he's also Asian, but we just were like, this must be Chris's dad. And we said, Mr. Kim, nice to meet you. And he's like, yeah, call me Teddy.
Yeah. That's pretty much exactly how I figured it would go.
Hmm?
I mean, yeah, that's... I mean, if you guys are going to be my companions in this whole project, then you got to at least see where my genetic source comes from, right?
I see the commonality and the differences, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely have some differences.
This is a personal question. Is your dad making up for issues with his own dad with you?
Nah, hell no. If anything, he just didn't know what the fuck he was doing when he had with me, Mm-hmm. So he left a lot of the work to my grandma.
Yeah, she was your primary paternal figure.
And my grandma was probably more concerned that I don't end up like my dad.
Mm.
Yeah. So there was that, meeting my dad and whatnot. That was cool. But, as for...
Is it with your half-sibling? Correct me if I'm wrong, was there never as much of a concern about your half siblings ending up like your dad as with you?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Because my half siblings had their mother. They had the household, with the mom and dad there.
Yeah.
And it was just it was pretty much as normal of a middle class American family in New York City as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
The only outlier was me, if anything.
Yeah.
I'm the anomaly. which is fine by me. I mean, I see like, yeah, their stable upbringing, you know, it's like, it's great, you know, because they didn't have to deal with half the shit that I dealt with, if that, like probably a fraction of it. It's just, it's kind of, they're just a different breed. It's like, you could just tell, and I know my dad could probably tell you too. Like he's probably like, for him, it's
Generationally different mother.
also, it's just the circumstances, you know.
Yeah, it's the different because they're like 10 years younger than you, minimum.
I grew up on the fucking streets, yo. Like I was a hooligan.
Yeah.
I was a little fucking like misguided hooligan. There was no father figure, no mother figure in my life. I was just making my own mistakes as a teenager and just eating the fucking full force of the consequences like in real time. So by the time I was 17, I realized, like, I didn't even realize it then, but looking back, I realized that I was like, I wasn't smarter because of brain power. I was smarter because I made the mistakes first. You know, like I made some earlier mistakes after like I made some tangible distance between my father and I. And I made some mistakes, but at the same time, I learned a lot of valuable lessons that I feel people my age now, in my 30s, like will never get the chance to really fully like experience. You know, because
there's something about making those mistakes when you're very young, both brain elasticity, being even something as simple as being able to recover from injuries faster when you're young.
It's a crucible because you know if you could survive your own mistakes, you'd be a lot better off making it out of that than like living your life in a cushy upbringing, not knowing how you would handle real pressure, and then just having everything done for you out of love, maybe from your parents, and then suddenly when things get real, you can't handle it. You know, it's because you never experienced such a thing. But then by then you're already older, you have a wife, you have kids, and suddenly like there's more to lose. So yeah, that's why like I'm glad. Like I know, you know, no matter how bad things could get, it could always get worse. So the number one thing is don't fucking panic.
Yeah, something I'm not very good at, to be honest. Maybe lack of exposure, maybe just defaulting to a frantic or panic state. Maybe lack of control over emotions. I'm not fully sure.
I've never really seen you panic though. Maybe you panic internally.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's like, to me, I'm like, oh God, I'm such a mess. And to everyone outside of me, they're like, he seems like he's doing fine.
Yeah.
I feel like my emotions come across my face very easily. I feel like I'm always, or for me, it's self-consciousness too. I feel like how I'm feeling, or whatever, is always immediately present to others.
Well, most of the time, these days, I definitely, I can't remember the last time I really panicked. You know what I do get though? I get exasperated.
Yeah?
Like when shit's not going my way, I don't panic. I don't even get mad. I just get a big sigh and I'm like, because I always know what I have to do. I'm always like, all right, now that this person didn't show up, now that this responsibility is left on me and I can't do it all myself, so I'm gonna have to find another person to be able to do it because I already know. So by then there's no point in panicking because I if you see the pattern of what's gonna come after, you're like, there's no panicking. It's just being exasperated. You're like, oh. Jesus fucking Christ! You know that's my immediate reaction.
Controlled stress. It's like what stress feels like when you don't feel fear.
I guess so, because it's like if you know what you're supposed to do about it, it's just out of your control. That's the only shit that sucks. Because it's like, you could have done everything right, maybe as like a factory floor manager, but then like an essential worker doesn't show up because they're having a baby at the most important time of the quarter and it fucks your whole shit up. And, it's like, are you going to panic about it? What's the point? These things happen. All you can do is just let out a big, frustrated sigh like, all right, Helen. Can you please call the old veterans from the other office and the other station and try to see if they can work this out, blah, blah, blah. You got to handle it. Mm-hmm. But it's just annoying at that point. It's nothing to panic about. I could probably say the same thing about like a mortal injury at this point. It's like if I was at the dojo and like someone accidentally cut me out, I would just be like, I don't think I would panic. I would just be like, because I've seen it happen. I've seen my sensei's toe get ripped off in an accident and I didn't panic. So I know I don't panic in violence. Like in moments of like violence happening around me.
I feel very calm when people are bleeding due to an accident. When there's other people involved in a confrontation, then I get really uncertain. Perhaps because there's too many people for me to like try and in my interactions with other people socially, I use a lot of my intellect, my thought power to try to game out or work through what they're doing. Someone being injured by like a random event, I feel very calm in.
Oh, okay. So when you feel like people have malicious intent towards you, whether
Or
it's
to
like
someone else too. Me, it's worse. It's worse when I feel like someone has malicious intent to me. But even just seeing like some homeless schizo be aggressive to another person, it's even if nothing ever happens, it feels way more stressful than this person has been like physically hurt by something.
okay, so this kind of ties into what I would say about, unfortunately, trauma is probably an essential part of developing your psychic faculties. So
You're never tested otherwise.
I mean, if every time I feel malicious intent from someone,
Mhm.
even if I did feel a fleeting sense of fear or panic,
Mhm.
I know that in my head, in my memories, in my lived experiences, I'm like, bro, I had to deal with like a group home, and I had to deal with a bunch of, let's be real, like inner city black kids who just wanted to fucking like make life difficult for people because they had nothing better to do. And I also dealt with like fucking my own father like beating the shit out of me and not 100% sure if he was gonna kill me. I had to deal with fucking sparring against my sensei who fucking gave me like probably a couple of concussions, nearly cracked ribs. You know, I was like, if I could deal with that, I could deal with this random fucking Jabberwocky who's trying to give me a hard time. I could deal with some fucking asshole on the internet who might know a little too much about me, but so fucking what? You know, like I could probably deal with all these things as long as I don't lose that. It's just true. It's not. There's nothing to argue. There's nothing to reason. It's like I've dealt with worse, so I could deal with this, and I have dealt with worse, so I could probably deal with this. I've literally lost friends. You know, I watched them slowly die in front of me until one day I got the call they died. I've watched my own family get broken apart because of like different opinions on money. I've watched like, you know, like fucking bands that I wanted so hard to work out just fall apart because of like lost interest and lost passions. Like if you could deal with all that shit, what the fuck do I have to fear from this fucking what's the worst you could do? Kill me? Oh well. We all die. Okay. And if someone's like trying to like torture me and like shoot bamboo shoots up my fucking fingernails and what, there's probably more to it then. Like, what the fuck is your problem with these specifically? What did I do? You know, it's like I must have done something. Like, so that's using your logic and reason in tandem with your intuition to be able to like come to better conclusions and just trying to rationalize everything. You know. Lived experience, real life mixed with your intellect and your pattern recognition. Synthesis. You can't just have one or the other, you know?
When those things all come together.
They have to.
And in a way that like a lot of people nowadays live very disembodied lives, largely due to the internet and technology, but even our day-to-day interactions with each other feel detached.
But we always say that. We always use that as a throwaway reason. It's like, oh, it's because of the internet. Thanks to the internet. But we still can't deny that it's still a choice. It's still an autonomous.
Yeah.
It's still an active
Maybe
agency.
it's like people who just haven't developed the cultural antibodies against the worst influences of the internet yet.
Well, why would they have a reason to? That means life is good.
Yeah.
That means the world is good. Like that means like we have it so easy that we don't have like shit to smack us into reality, that we get lost in like internet negativity and pits and, you know, doom scrolling. Like life
Also,
must be
just
fucking
the
good. It must be
newest
nice.
generation to deal with it. You know, do you know that a lot of people died of alcohol poisoning when like distillation was invented?
Yeah.
Like when you started getting like gin and rum and
Yeah.
whiskey, not just in the New World, which is true. A lot of people drank themselves to death, but
Because there was no one to tell them no.
in Europe, a lot of people drank themselves to death.
How about this? When sugar was first
I'll be right back.
Oh, I was
talking.
I was getting into something good. Say.
Okay.
All right.
Sugar.
So, when sugar production was first industrialized, the rate of cavities and tooth loss as a result was so high that doctors had virtually no choice but to blame it on ghosts haunting people's mouths, which is funny because you can't disprove that.
Yeah, it's also pre-germ theory. It's worth mentioning.
You have to pee?
No, I just wanted to grab water.
All right, grab water.
Richie, take the helm. Talk about sugar.
Richie has nothing to say about sugar. Richie, what do you? We don't like sugar, right, Richie? We've been staying away from sugar.
I like sugar, but I try to limit it in my diet.
Yeah, that's right. I hear you like those Metarex bars.
They're pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
The apple pie one's really good.
Can you pull them up on Google? What do they look like? What's your favorite flavor? You like the apple?
Yeah,
the
apple pie is pretty solid.
I like. That's my favorite one too. It's just once you have enough of them, you're like, I can't have another one of this fucking flavor. So I always get like the Oreo one, just to get something bitter.
Is that good?
What?
Like, what's your second favorite
Yeah, bring
flavor?
it up on the screen, Rich.
Yeah, what's your second favorite flavor?
Then none of them are as good as the apple pie one, but the fucking
Oh, yeah, sorry.
the white coated cake one, the churro flavored one is okay. I think they have a peanut butter jelly one.
Sounds interesting. Well, you're pretty solid on it.
Not peanut butter jelly. I think it's more like raspberry granola. I don't know, something like that, like a big fig Newton. But yeah, these are these meal replacement bars that I eat sometimes because it's like because of martial arts. Like I'll have to.
I thought you eat them sometimes because you heard about them on Joe Rogan.
Does Joe Rogan eat this shit?
Is he a fan?
I have no idea.
I just know that they like. I looked at the calorie count. I looked at the sugar count. I looked at the protein. The most importantly, I was looking for protein. I was like, each bar is like what, like 30 to 40 grams of protein or something. I was like, shit, that's like a whole third, almost a fourth of what I need throughout my day. So.
Yeah. I don't know what to use. Is it whey protein or like soy protein? I don't taste like whey at all. So I don't get like nauseous when I eat one.
I don't
You get
know.
nauseous
You get
from
nauseous
whey?
from whey?
Yeah, I do.
That's weird. But yeah, no, I don't know if it's whey. I just know it's.
Did this prevent you in pursuing bodybuilding, Richie?
Oh yeah. I'm drink protein shake. I'm puke. Come close to puking.
Serious?
Yeah.
That sucks, man. Because protein shakes for me is like it's a hack. You know.
I mean, I don't mind like ISO pure like protein juices. That stuff's great. Yeah. You ever have one of those?
Yeah. First of all, I don't want to shill these too hard because I don't.
Of course,
know,
yeah. This is,
I don't know if these are that good. I just know they're efficient. They're what I needed at the time because a lot of protein bars are very tiny. This thing is like a whole meal replacement thing.
yeah, it's pretty filling for a couple hours.
Yeah, exactly. I've had whole days of martial arts training with just that and a protein shake and nothing else.
These are pretty good, but they're really expensive.
How much are they?
Like 30 grams of protein.
Really?
How expensive?
Let's see for a drink. It's like $8 like that for one for just by itself.
If you can't take whey powder, Metarex bars are probably your best bet. Have like 4 of those a day. You'd be set. You'd be set.
Yeah, I mean you probably shit your pants. Yeah.
I like this idea, Rich, of you going to a bar-based diet.
Yeah. Very
Like when
solid.
Homer got fit during that climbing Mount Rainier episode.
Yo, put it this way: I eat once a day, and I'm trying to stay off meat, and I'm trying to keep keto. That leaves a very creative. You have to come up with some very creative solutions. It's like chickpeas become your best friend. You like protein bars. You like whey. You know.
Mm.
Yeah. For cured meat.
What put you off meat? Is it what is it?
It's first of all, like I think meat is good. Like I'm grateful for the strength that the cow meat has given me. It's just I truly believe that I believe in chi. I believe all living beings have like a network of chi, even plants. But when you're like a big mammal, like a red-blooded mammal, you have more complex chi networks, more potential for emotional energy. So when you consume red meat, you consume not just the nutrients from the meat, but you also consume their fear energy. And for a long time, I had a good use of it. It's just now I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I don't need that extra. It's not just like tangible muscular strength, like muscular mass. It's also like aggression. It's also like warlord mentality type shit, like warrior spirit type shit. And it comes with a cost. Like it doesn't just give you strength and a fighting spirit, but it also makes you like unbalanced in a way. And it kind of makes you unstable with like the extra fear energy you're intaking just from eating like straight up meat. Fish might be different, but it's not as biodynamic.
Yeah, I mean, especially with these factory farm cheap meats, you're dealing with life forms that are living very nightmarish existences.
And you have to consume that too. I mean, yeah, people might only look at the material ends of it, but I do think
Is there a rise in anxiety because people are eating factory farm
100%.
meat?
I mean, there's all these biologists that say, oh, the hormones in it are causing people to get fucked up and, girls to grow tits at like 7 years old and shit. You could say that, but it's probably a lot of
What
it.
if it's just that people are being very nourished on a base animal level, and then there's a bunch of bizarre side effects of it? Maybe it's not even connected. What if the ideal human woman does grow tits at 12 years old? Hold with me here for a second. But much of human history, most people were just malnourished.
Maybe.
I'm more inclined personally to believe the spiritual explanation here.
Yeah, the chi networks. And
Yeah. Whereas the just getting, I'm sure people are on a raw fundamental level healthier than they've ever been. They're just living less healthy lifestyle.
First of all, if you
But
have a
this would
choice,
explain
if you're
why
able to make these choices, yeah, you live a very fucking healthy life. If you even have the freedom to be able to say, I'm going to go off meat for a while, like I'm saying right now, like we have it fucking good, all right? Let's not kid ourselves in how abundant we really are materially. Like
we are incredibly abundant, and we have been since the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
But especially certainly within our lifetime.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's easy to lose sight of that when you're considering like capital that involves other people. Like you know, if you don't get enough pussy, or if you don't have enough social status, or if you don't have enough.
That is downstream of material security.
Yeah. So I mean, come on. Like, what's more fun than like fucking around with your diet to see the tangible effects it has on your body and the way you move it every day? It's like that could strengthen you or weaken you. Like that's fun to fuck around with, and it doesn't involve other people. Mm-hmm. So you don't your own sense of confidence doesn't really have to apply too much. It's really just you and your body and your will, you know? I like that. And there's so many sources of information. Like there's so many people. We stand on the shoulders of giants with information because like you have all these people that fucked up for us. You know, it's like, this is why you shouldn't go on a fucking diet only consisting of red foods. You know, like.
Bringing it back around to Jordan B. Peterson.
I'm just saying, it's like, yeah, it's a fun time to fuck around with that shit. Which if we even have the freedom to do that, that probably tells us a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people who feel like life is so terrible right now, and I just don't buy it. I'm sorry, like I can't.
No, materially, it's really wonderful.
It is.
It's very stable. It's very safe.
Now, culturally,
one of the
it's a
reasons,
nightmare.
Culturally, it's nightmarish. Also, the lack of raw human necessity. The fact that raw human animal things are taken care of.
So abundant. And it's getting more faster.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that in the past never would have had to deal with these anxieties because they were just dead, struggling to stay alive, or struggling to stay alive and thriving.
This is why the Ozzy and Harriet generation was so, they were able to make marriages work, even if they were so incompatible personality-wise. They went through something horrible together.
Yeah, and also they didn't have birth control or more limited birth control.
But they still had the shared experience of suffering, of like existential suffering, so they were able to do amazing things. They brought us to the space age and shit, you know?
You ever watch really old television, like broadcast from the 50s?
I remember I used to watch a TV Land.
Like, I Love Lucy is the biggest mainstream holdover from that, but even that was already coming from an era of wealth and...
the oldest TV I've probably regularly watched was like cartoons, like Looney Tunes cartoons.
Yeah, because they're movies originally. There were shorts played in movies.
That was the cream of the crop back then, probably.
In like the 1930s.
Like the pinnacle of media science. Technology.
I mean, there's something. Rich, are you big at all into the history of theaters, like the physical business model, but also like how you used to have these very nice theaters in every small town?
Well, I'll tell you right now about now, the industry sucks.
Well, everyone says this, man. I want to talk about the history.
No, not at all.
Really, not at all. So, like, are you interested? You're not interested in old theaters?
Not really. As a physical object, no.
Okay, fair.
I do appreciate their beauty, obviously.
Well,
I like them, and I like the industry of them that existed at one time. And now every single, maybe not small town, but every single either college town or artsy enough city has a historic theater that's preserved. And they try to replicate qualities of that movie theater from the 1920s.
Okay, so basically, like, all right, in the lived experience version, it's basically, they did what Netflix does now. You'll notice that, like, if you'll see what's happening in the world in politics and media, in geopolitics and culture, and then you'll notice that your Netflix playlist eerily reflects the spirit of the times for some strange reason. Now, theaters, if you back then, if you knew what you were doing, you would do the same shit. Like, you wouldn't just play like what's new, like the newest reels. You would also play like what's in the spirit of the times. Then they had multiple. Okay,
So you would buy a ticket to a movie theater and you can go in and out of it. And they were just playing like a content reel, which was repeating like a cartoon, a comedy short, a news segment, a movie, a B movie.
Like a concert.
You would be able to smoke in the theaters, but also you could go out, get something to eat, go back to the theater, use your ticket to enter it again. And then, like, you know, you came in halfway through the shittier movie they were playing. You go out, you spend an hour around, you go back in, and now the real main movie was playing. Or you could just catch a newsreel and a comedy, a short comedy, or catch a Looney Tunes cartoon. It was a very different theater watching experience.
Okay, but like nowadays it became so shit. I mean, it actually became shit in our lifetimes too.
It was some people would say it became shit before then, but yes, it did become shit within our lifetimes.
No. I mean,
and
within our lifetimes,
theaters are so fucking expensive now.
Within our lifetimes, it was at its peak. I remember like when crazy Spielberg pictures were. To this day, they still hold up.
What's some of your best theater going experiences, Richie, Chris?
I was in Korea. I saw Artificial Intelligence (AI). It's the Spielberg movie. Blew me away.
Was it dubbed in Korean? Was it subtitled?
Subtitled.
Rich?
Like Northman. Watching Northman with you was great. I was like,
thank you.
I was entranced by the entire film.
Yeah, and being in like the big loud theater was very pleasant. And we had a nice day of like walking up and down the strip. We stopped to get food, I think.
Yeah, or like
they were like we stopped and I don't know what the ethnicity was restaurant, and we were eating and they were playing the first new Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah,
on the television.
I remember. Yeah,
the James Franco Planet of the Apes movie was playing on the TV, and whenever the Nepalese or Malaysian or we found some obscure ethnicity like takeout place to stop and eat in.
Do you remember your first theater movie? I think my first theater movie was Lion King.
Lion King for me, I think I was taken to see Dances with Wolves as a toddler.
Ooh.
And my mom had to take me out because it was making noise. And it was like my understanding, I think, was my dad's stupid idea to go out with like a 2-year-old and his wife for a 2.5 hour long movie.
He was just excited to see a movie.
Yeah, with Kevin Costner, whatever.
With you.
Yeah, it's true. Consciously remember Lion King, probably going to see Lion King with my mom.
Actually, I do.
I really remember seeing Men in Black with my dad, a friend of his, and his friend's son who was a teenager, and I was trying to make conversation with his son, but it wasn't working, probably because the guy was like 14 or something, and I was like 7, and I was like trying my best to have a conversation with him about the movie after it ended.
Yeah. I think another really memorable movie experience for me was Pokemon, the first movie.
Yeah.
Because I was a Pokemon fan as a little kid. And then the first movie coming out in theater. First of all, I remembered as a kid when Pokemon first came to the States, which was already like a huge a corporate success, like a commercial success. Sorry. And then like I spent years watching like fellow children get super sucked in, as did I. But then the movie came out, and that was incredible. First of all, I'd never seen an anime thing in the movie theater before then at all. Then seeing Pokemon, you're like, holy shit, this is actually happening. And it was really emotional, and it was really touching, and it was really emotionally impactful.
Richie, what's the first theater going experience you remember?
I get Rugrats film one, like the first one.
Oh,
That's super fucking like that's a long ass memory I have in my head.
That's a crazy one.
How old were you?
I can't. I'd be like a kid.
Dude, could you imagine?
No, guess your age.
4 maybe.
Check when the movie came out. Google it.
Bro, first of all, Carmen, could you imagine being a little ass kid growing up watching Rugrats, and then the first fucking Rugrats movie comes out in theaters? You're like, what the fuck?
98, yeah.
Didn't it take place in Japan or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
98, yeah.
Yeah, pull up the screen, and there's like a white male Asian female couple, like Chucky's cuck loser dad.
Yeah, loser dad.
His loser Jew dad fucks and marries a Japanese woman, played by Margaret Cho. Wow, having a
So it's really wow.
So how old were you in 98?
2? I had to be like fucking. Like,
So is this
I got
like one of
older,
your
I got
oldest memories?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely.
What is it? Your oldest?
It's like probably second oldest. Honestly.
What's your oldest?
Being like a toddler, my grandmother took a picture of me in like a kitchen, which we still have.
Yeah,
Or getting like a bath, like a baby tub.
I remember the apartment we lived in Damariscotta, which was over a fish market. So the whole place smelled of fish all the time. And ever since then, the smell of fish, maybe slightly churning,
That's why
is
that's why you
pleasant
don't
to
eat
me.
shrimp.
Maybe. I love sushi, though.
It doesn't have a fishy taste as much as.
But the smell of a fish market makes me very comfortable.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's good to know. Because you're a cook, so you got
I
to.
remember
What?
myself as like a kid when I first born in like Jamaica. My parents' old apartment. I remember
In
like,
Jamaica?
the Queens. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
What was the apartment like?
It was like a duplex.
And also, when
It was
you
a
think
duplex,
back,
yeah, it was a
when you
duplex.
think back to it, are there dynamics that were missed at the time that you now pick up on?
No, I just remember like
This happened to me just now when I was talking about the Dances with Wolves anecdote. I just realized it was probably a case my dad insisted on taking me to a movie and I was way too young, and my mom was always pissed and resentful about it.
not really for me. I remember the colors and everything else. That's it.
Hmm.
Like it was like a deep red. I remember the inside.
I remember like my parents had antique Christmas balls, like decoration. I'm sure something
I feel like when you have a cool
And-
dad, your mom is always not a cool mom. Like she's always like jealous of the kid. I mean, she'll never admit it, but she's always like, "You used to be so cool and badass before we had this stupid kid, and you're just a good dad who loves his son, and you're lame now." At least that's what my mom was like.
My mom was always a wreck, and my dad was always like a wreck, barely holding it together.
Yeah, so was my dad. I mean, you've seen him, you know.
Yeah,
It's
I
like-
have. Yeah,
He's just too
your dad.
violent. He's too angry.
Your dad and my dad would have gotten along so well.
Hells
They
yeah, I
would have
think so
bec-
too. From what you told me, definitely.
They would have become immediate best.
They would have talked
friends.
about like military fiction or novels or history or some shit.
Both of them would have talked about growing up on the streets in the past.
That too.
Actually, my dad is being like 20 years older than your dad, but being like Bridgeport and being part of the 60s boomer counterculture.
Yeah, my dad would have liked that.
Yeah.
Interesting shit. I don't know. I mean, there's definitely things from my dad's persona that and memories that I would, I'd want to leave with my dad. But some things I'm definitely gonna take.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, movies, man. Me and my dad definitely watch a lot of. I think like I feel like every generation says, "Oh, I grew up during the best time for movies," but for me, it was just different in a way. For our generation, as a collective, like there's just something really novel about it. It was cool.
I enjoyed going to the movies with my dad.
I've always liked that intro movie. It's like, please turn off your cell phones, and
Yeah.
directing you to the exits. That was always nice.
When I was in kindergarten, my dad would pick me up from school on his bicycle, and he would ride me home sitting on the handlebars of his bicycle.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I was like 6 years old. And obviously, no one else had something like that. My dad had a ponytail.
that's awesome.
Because my dad had like a libertarian protest against Bill Clinton because Bill Clinton like had delayed an Air Force One flight to get a haircut. So my dad grew out his hair. So he had hair down to like the hair down to here like that. And he just bicycled everywhere wearing like a suit jacket.
That's great.
My dad would just get drunk and get in the car with me on the lap. And he's like, "Here, son, take the wheel."
My dad did that
Oh my
too as
God.
a kid. Yeah, I remember. Like we crashed once on that. That's really
Very Dominican father.
That's a really old ass memory. That's really fucking old.
How
memory.
old were you in
I
Tom?
had to be like a toddler, bro. I definitely had to be a toddler.
Guess it in year, age.
3, maybe 4.
What do you remember your thoughts from then?
I was like, oh, having fun with my dad in his lab, driving his car together.
Yeah.
Like my mom was complaining too. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah. Good times. So yeah, I mean that's.
I never rode in my dad's lap while he was driving. That would have been unconscionable in my white family.
It's also, I think, like for me and my dad too. There was maybe I'm imagining or maybe I'm exaggerating it in my mind, but I feel like there was a lot of like father son dynamic movies coming out that were like big in like blockbuster scale.
It's probably like downstream of demographic trends with like boomer dads and millennial sons, that there was a large market for movies that I would want to take a son.
I think more like Gen X dad. You know, Gen X single dad with his kid.
There were a lot of movies in the 90s like that. Yeah.
Like there's I Am Sam, Big Daddy.
That's aunts, but yeah. But in the 90s, and this is down far, there's a lot of moms were out during
the aughts.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
during the 90s.
yeah.
During the 90s, moms were passe, and there were a lot
Of like a down and out dad. He's like his,
Yeah.
maybe the mom's dead or the mom left him and it's just him and his kid. He's like, I'm sorry, kid. I'm trying to hold it together for us. And the kid's somehow smarter than the dad. He's like, come on, dad. I can help you with your job. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, you got to worry about school.
This is a huge. This is a lot of Adam Sandler movies, but yeah.
Remember The Road to Perdition?
Yeah,
That was
Road
a
to
great.
Perdition,
I
yeah.
fucking love that movie so much because it reminds me of me and my dad. Like fuck,
So you like Lone Wolf and Cub a lot?
I never really sat through that whole movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or like I never read the manga or watched the movie. I was just curious about it.
Richie, do you like any father son movie or father kid movies? I mean, even as a movie person, you gotta like some of these, like fucking, because they're very touching, like objectively, like from a movie.
Oh, I actually have an answer. For me, it's watching Bicycle Thieves with my dad when I was like 8 or 9.
Yeah. No, I meant movies, like actual movies that you like about with this theme. But that's pretty.
About both that one in particular, and in particular because I saw it with my dad.
Oh, Bicycle Thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I never saw that movie.
It's a Italian neo-realist movie from like the mid 50s. Rich, is your phone busted?
Yeah, I cracked at some point when I dropped it. Apparently,
Is your phone okay?
it works, but like it's cracked.
Your phone or the case?
Oh, it's definitely outside my phone.
It's fine.
Is video image quality damaged? Or
No, it's just like
it's just a crack on the chassis of your phone.
It's fine.
Yeah, it looks great. You always hold on to your phones until they're disintegrating.
Yeah.
I remember you're back in Astoria. You were repairing your phone every other week.
yeah.
I started taking incredible care of my phones. You know why?
Why? Because you had to pay for them?
No. Well, even when I did pay for them, I would break them and shit. You know what really, like, in my life, like, I know this specifically because, like, I kept track of, like, I paid my own phone bill for a long time.
Yeah.
So I would keep track of, like, my phones and, like, what phone I was using and when I'll keep track of my upgrades and all that shit and how often I would replace them and why. I noticed, and my shoes too, I noticed I stopped replacing these things when I drove. Which is a very interesting thing to me because that's like it's a class thing, you know?
Interesting.
It's like, yeah.
So, like, when you're a driver, you're very rarely damaging your phone.
And your shoes.
That makes a lot of sense.
So I noticed like my shoes.
A lot of times I drop my phone. Well, most of the time
I didn't get a car
phone.
till I was like 26. So
Yeah.
I was spending a long period of my time riding bikes, public transportation, walking. So
Yeah,
my
your phone falls out of your pocket. You
Sunglasses.
You have to run to catch a train. Your phone falls out.
accessories like watches.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Sunglasses. So yeah, it's a class thing. This is where I start to see like class tendencies. No wonder why people who drive have way more accessories. No wonder why people who drive can like keep more shoes. No wonder why people who drive like have different condition phones. Like I started noticing these things once I started driving at a later age than my friends. My friends all drove since they were 16. Once I started driving in like my mid 20s, I was like, oh, I get
think
it.
a lot about shoes. I really like shoes in general.
If you want to take care of your shoes, stop fucking driving, bro. Like,
I don't. No, I'm not going to do
or
that.
ride a bike.
That may yes. I should.
Riding bikes
right.
also. Yeah.
Um,
It's walking that really.
I don't have a foot fetish, but I always notice men's shoes because I spend far more time thinking about men's fashion than women's fashion.
I can never be about men's shoes too much because I'm first of all, I was a skateboarder. I was a graffiti writer. I'm a bicyclist. I'm a martial artist. Like I do too much shit. Like I can't wear like nice shoes unless I'm going to a specifically like social thing. If it's like purely nightlife social, then yeah, whatever. But like 90% of my day, I have no business wearing shoes that I like don't plan on like doing shit to. But I noticed once I started driving, like
Mhm.
I would my shoes would last a lot longer. Which I don't know. Like as a New Yorker, I can't suggest any New Yorker start driving. It's just
I mean, it's such a tedious process in the city to own, maintain a car. Even driving the city is so stressful.
when you're in Staten Island, though, it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everywhere else kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm. I've been watching this tree being tapped for like an hour now.
Yeah. So when you I don't know. I mean, I still think it's worth it. At least a bicycle, maybe something. It's just being a motorist is too fun, especially as a man.
That
I don't
makes
know.
sense, yeah.
Something about being a guy and being a motorist, it just clicks really well.
Something get knocked over?
Is that Mochi?
I assume it's Mochi.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want you guys to start with bicycles. Like, start riding bicycles.
No, I know you've been saying it all year and even before this year, and you're entirely correct. And I'm just.
I've been giving you enough money to fucking buy
You're
one,
right.
like, motherfucker.
You're right, you're right.
I mean, it's not my business how you spend it, but still, motherfucker, you got to get a bike. It would make your life so much more dynamic.
Yeah.
You would start seeing things you would never have noticed before. You would be able to do more things because things take you a lot less longer to do and get to. And if Richie got a bike too, oh my God, the three of us, you know what we could be?
What?
We could be the bike trio.
The bike tree. No, this is something we absolutely have to. Well, look, it's going to be warm for another month. I'm getting a big paycheck this weekend.
All right.
Richie, can you put together your bike?
Yeah, I can.
How much would it cost? Do you have the money to get together a bike?
I have to see what else it needs.
We might be able to have at least October and maybe November biking around.
Yeah, that's
if
the
we tried and run.
and that's the
Fucking
best.
match my
Yo,
bike in
dude,
the backyard.
the winter is the
It's a
best
dick
time.
move.
The winter,
It is.
the winter is a good time to train and to practice because by the time summer comes around, you're gonna feel like free as a bird. You're gonna be like, "Woo, the weather's so nice. No shitty weather. I don't have to bundle up." Oh, it's gonna be really good. It's good to be seasoned by the time next summer comes around. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should start cycling in the cold weather. Well, you know it'll be fun. We'll go on bike trails in the park just to practice with no cars or no pedestrians.
You're right, actually, because in winter we can bundle up. We're going to be exhausted. We're going to be exerting ourselves a lot, so we'll be sweating a lot because we haven't. Well, me and
Yeah, you'll
Richie
be warmed up.
Haven't been used to biking.
And then like we'll be like in the cold, bundled up. Like we get off our bikes, it's like, oh, it was warmer when I was riding, which is true.
Yeah.
And then we'll smoke our little cigarette, take our piss, drink our 40s, and it's like drink fast so you warm up faster. And then say, all right, you ready to ride again? And then you're just a little more wobbly, but you're like, I got this. And then you just keep riding. It's fun. It's a really good time. I think that's one of the best ways to spend time in New York City, which is why you can't fucking ignore this. Especially if you're a photographer, if you're a writer, if you want to see the city, like you just have to do it on a bicycle. It's too cost effective. And if you get really like experienced, you could do like unthinkable shit. You could do like your whole laundry and your grocery shopping with everything on a messenger bag, and you're like, all right, it's like nothing to you. I could literally ride like all of Manhattan with like a bike strapped to my bag on a bike, so it's like I could carry a bike with me as I ride. Definitely get a bike, man.
Like an electric bike.
No, don't
Jury
get an
head.
electric bike. Fuck electric bikes.
It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
you're just getting a motorcycle.
No.
You're getting an electric motorcycle when you get an electric
Well,
bike.
electric bikes, I mean, they're good. It's just, in my opinion, I just don't think they're. First of all, like I like regular analog bicycles because they're easily transportable. They're not as heavy. You don't have to charge them. If something breaks, it's easy to fix depending on like what kind of bike. Definitely easier than an electric bike. Like it's better to start with a non-electric bike so that you can learn how to fix it, maintain it, and then by the time you do move to an electric bike, you'll know how everything fucking works with a motor added to it, like a motorized hub or whatever. But yeah, definitely get a bike. You could ride up next to some like hot biker chick and you're like, hey, you live in Ridgewood? Yeah, I just moved here from North Carolina.
Isn't Ridgewood seems like the place that people who have aged out of Williamsburg or Bushwick move to? It's like 30-year-old people, 35-year-old people who have been in New York for 10 years
Oh, even
are
better.
all in Ridgewood.
Even
And you're
better.
right, that's even better because that's exactly my demographic, even though I just moved to New York.
Yeah, so yeah, get a bike, man.
You're right.
I think you would get super into it because, like, if you get like really,
Because my little brother's super into it, so yeah. It's fine, my little brother's super into cycling, and I never did it with him.
you got to do it, man. It's
You're
too,
right.
It's too good, especially because the city you live in.
Yeah,
It's just a New York thing to do.
yeah. I'll be right back. I want water. Be quick.
I bet you would get like so into all the cultural shit, like bike protests and critical mass and.
Oh, no, it's a gay. I don't get it.
Yeah. I like doing that shit.
No offense.
No. I mean, I don't do it all the time. I'm not like super into it, but I definitely. It's fun to run into. Like you're just riding around one summer and you see like a whole huge crowd of bikes. It's like, yeah, let me join in on this. You know?
What is it? There's like California, those naked like bike runs they do.
Yeah. Some of them are a little disruptive. Like when they're the big BMX bikes, those kids, they're rowdy. They'll fucking
Yeah, they're lunchtime rowdies.
They're
They're,
little-
urban youths.
they're little jackals. But
You could say they're little jigaboos.
you can't underestimate them because they turn into the YNs that are like absolutely shooting shit now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the YNCA all over the place.
That's a good one, YNCA.
I keep thinking about how to utilize that. I feel like I should just use it as a handle, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. This
I
is
keep thinking about what it's fun to stay at the YNCA. It's fun to buck break at the YNCA.
all these things are going to burn out eventually.
Yeah,
The whole culture of
buck
violence.
breaking at the YNCA.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay,
Put it
got
this way: not enough cops are killing black people anymore, so they have to literally resort to like causing assassinations of YouTubers, pretty much.
I like the theory. We need to have a equilibrium of black youth deaths, and I agree. We clearly do.
Yeah. Oh wait. I don't know if I agree to that. I don't know if we should have it that way, but I do know that it's causing some changes.
I really like the idea of putting shooting ranges in the ghetto, so urban youth will get better at marksmanship and kill each other at a faster, more efficient rate.
You want to hear something funny? I'm sure wouldn't it be hilarious if you did that and suddenly the gun deaths just dropped dramatically?
The gun deaths would drop because the YNs shooting at each other.
They'll be like, I know
wouldn't
he could shoot, bro.
What about you change
Also,
the-
they wouldn't be hitting like random kids and old ladies in the ghetto.
What about you like change you could like give like fireworks, like a Roman candle, shoot Roman candles at each other?
Oh yeah, the fireworks fights that were happening in New York.
And you know what?
in the COVID.
I feel like also
Like
rap would
katanas, give like really shaky katanas fight each other.
I feel like rap would become less popular because they would be like, if they're trained, they'll be like, that's no way to shoot. You don't slide on your ops like, fucking in a Dodge Charger. It's like, nah, you wait. You just sit there, wait with a nice little rifle, like 22 or whatever. It's quieter, it's lighter. That's all you need. Just hide in a bush and wait till he comes out, pop him, and then leave. Like no one has to know you were there. That's how they're gonna start operating. And then once they
start doing that, it would just drastically reduce the death rate instead of all these stupid, like retarded ambushes they do.
yeah, sliding.
You
on the
ever
ops.
see how like Papua New Guineans fight? I
It's
think
not
Richie
nice.
has.
I think it's really mean. Don't they use those like small caliber silenced weapons? Where it's like-
No. This is like film footage from like the 1960s, but they were still living a very tribal life in Southeast Asia and Papua New Guinea. And it's just like two guys like cowering and slowly advancing towards each other, throwing spears, backing off, doing it again and
yeah, what's
again.
that one? It's that one line, Carmen, about why people fight very hard. They're too vicious.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. When you look at Richie, look up Papua New Guinea warfare.
Okay.
Let's see what we can find. I
Papua
think
New
there's
Guinea warfare.
footage from like 1960s, if true. Trouble.
I want to see the top video. That looks
Top
interesting.
video, yeah.
Oh man.
This is the kind. I think I would like to have an anthropology section on Terrorisk. I think all three of us are well equipped for it.
Dude, if I was in that situation, man, with my katana, I would. If I was in that self-defense situation, I would defend myself.
Yeah.
With my
well,
katana.
I bet you would actually do a lot better than them because they're fundamentally untrained.
Nah, there's too many of them. They would fucking skewer the fuck out of me, bro. Look at those guys. They look ready for. They look ready for this shit.
Well, it's like, what's I'm saying, like, when Africans fought Europeans or British, they're like, there's too much dancing and ceremony, and we're just shot at them. It's like, oh, this is too scary for us. We're actually finding us like regularly.
This is too.
Oh, all
spooky.
the Africans were too.
Yeah, that's literally what they said. Yeah, they're dancing and shit at the ceremony. Like, oh, we shoot people.
What? I can't believe they're not engaged. The whites don't fight fair. They don't engage in tribal dances.
They just do shanties. Like, that's. What do you think is more powerful, this or the white man's shanty?
White man
And shanty.
Yeah.
His eyes
That's why they get to kick
closed.
them out like
As his
Gherkin,
last
right?
breath spoke, he had seen all to be seen. And then you hear like bagpipes. Yeah, you think that will get you fired up more than these guys?
I think it might be less fired up, but the Brits are just going to be much better at fighting.
Yeah, probably. Imagine if like the UK fought these guys, like London, the city of London gangs. It would just be a bunch of Pakistani guys versus these guys. Yeah, man. These guys are all equipped with machetes, spears.
Really genetic, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I like how they're all dressed in rugby shirts. It's like, dude, the most athletic wear you could possibly have right now is rugby
Probably just
shirt.
and they also have a lot of British cultural influence, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, rugby is hard as fuck. Like, let's be real. If I had an AK-47 wearing a rugby shirt, it probably looks harder than like a basketball. Actually, I don't know. Basketball jerseys are pretty hard.
Richie, you ever read any adaptation of the Iliad or any translation?
No, I probably should read that. I'll start with the Greeks as well.
Is there no sound in this video?
Yeah, turn it off. Yeah.
Rich, you should read the War Nerd Iliad because it's
Turn it
written
up.
in plain English to explain the context of it.
Yeah.
Turn it up all the way.
I mean, what? Have you read all the Greek stuff, Carmen?
Oh, forget
I
it.
probably
You
should.
can stop playing this.
This is like,
Hmm?
I mean, it's like the meme on 4chan. Start with Greeks.
Oh, man. You know what I would like us to be?
What?
Road pirates. If not road pirates, then regular sea pirates. If not sea pirates, then
Pirates.
Yeah, Road Warrior.
sky pirates. If we had an airship that was just like one wooden ship, but like held up by mad balloons.
There's something incredibly aesthetically pleasing to the idea of an airship traveling around. I guess it's fundamentally a naval story. Naval stories really like Star Trek, anything air pirates or airship related. The idea of having like this little base and you're going around traveling with it.
You have a kitchen. You have a bridge. You know, where you plan shit and navigate and steer. You have a cabin where you sleep. Those are the most important things.
Yeah, Star Trek is a British naval. It's a sci-fi version of a British naval story.
I would love the three of us and a dedicated crew. I think Carmen should be captain. Richard should be first mate. I should be quartermaster.
Yeah. You ever see Master and Commander, Chris?
What?
You ever see Master and Commander?
Oh yeah, Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Great movie. Yeah, I would love to be a quartermaster. I think that would be my preferred role aboard a ship. Quartermaster. Yes.
I think I'd be a terrible captain.
That's why it's your role probably.
I think about okay, first mate.
Yeah, that fits you very well, Rich.
You should be a captain, man.
Mm.
You'd be the kind of captain that would listen to his crew. That might get us killed, but it might work out. It all depends on the crew, I guess. The smaller the crew, the better, honestly. Which is why sci-fi naval stories function better, because usually those.
Well, with sci-fi naval stories, you're not constrained by the actual dynamics of
Seafaring.
like Enlightenment era seafaring
Yeah.
life. You don't have to deal with the actual rigmarole, dangers, risks, awfulness of 18th century seafaring.
Yeah. I mean, what if like Mad Max happened, but on the sea? And I know you're gonna say Waterworld, but I'm saying something more scaled down from the fantasy aspect, or from the, I guess, otherworldly aspect. And it was more so like you see like re-outfitted like cruise ships and freighters with like cannons like strapped on, with like ruins.
That'd be a very fun aesthetic.
Yeah. It's like they're the road warriors and people who exist on the ground, and then there's us, the sea people, in this post-apocalyptic hellscape.
Filming on water is very difficult. It's notoriously difficult and expensive. A lot of different pirate films had massive destruction of sets due to either constructed tanks or due to natural disaster. Like if they were filming in like Southeast Asia.
I think all post-apocalypse films have the burden of like needing to use actual special effects, because there's really nothing like logistically stopping them. It's not like you have to film in crowded cities or real life areas or landmarks. You just
Well,
gotta
that was the case with the original Mad Max. It was filmed on a shoestring budget in the Australian outback.
and you could destroy shit freely as much as you want.
Mhm.
Like, you ever see The Fall Guy?
No, I haven't. The Fall Guy looks like an incredibly Chris Kim movie that I would not want to watch, and if forced to, I would despise it.
Oh, I didn't like it.
Oh, really? Tell me more. What do you think about it?
I think it was really boring and trite, but it was very insightful.
How so?
It gave you a good perspective on movie making. Not like, it gave you an entertaining perspective. You know, you got to really see dynamics at play in terms of like the relationship between producer, director, lead actor, stuntman, writers, PR specialists, and all that shit. Like, and you see how like after watching that movie, you would read stories after that about how like there's a huge tie between like movie making and organized crime.
Hmm?
And then you understand completely why. Because like, you know, we talked about this with Korean cinema, right? Like why were Korean gangster movies so prevalent, so much more than a lot of other things? Well, because a lot of directors and producers were struggling to get money to make the movies they wanted to make. So they would make a deal with the people who had a lot of money that they were willing to spend, and that was gangsters. You know, and you see that across all the countries, which is why when you see like Hollywood doing shady shit that borderlines on satanic, you're like, oh, that's why, because they're so tied with dark shit already. No movie industry could have thrived without like blood, basically.
Hmm.
But The Fall Guy, the reason why I didn't like The Fall Guy is because, again, it was very boring and trite. Like, I like the actor. I like both actors, actually. I think it was Emily Blunt and Gosling.
Mm-hmm.
I like them. It's just, it wasn't like Once Upon a Time on Hollywood was more interesting, you know, in terms of like cinematography and artistic vision.
Do you like Ryan Reynolds, Chris?
I have mixed feelings. I think he's talented, for sure, for a Canadian actor. I think he's like the best Canadian. I think he's the best Canada has to offer in terms of like acting talent.
What about William Shatner?
Nah, I think Ryan Reynolds is probably the better, the modern William Shatner.
Yeah. Ooh, interesting. This I
He has
dislike
more
him
range.
strongly. What?
He has more range.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is fucking good. Like, don't let anyone tell you. It's just he did.
He's talented enough, but like, just
Sorry, no, I think Ryan Gosling has more range.
Ryan Gosling. Yeah, actually, Ryan Gosling's the best Canada has to offer.
Did Reynolds and Gosling ever do a movie together?
Feels like they should have.
That would be amazing.
I feels like it'd be incredibly forgetful.
It would still be amazing if they did it right. I mean, it would suck if they did a meta thing. It's like, oh, they're both Hollywood actors, Ryan and
Named
Ryan.
Ryan, yeah.
Yeah, that would suck ass. But if they were both like, I don't know, some way. The only way it would really realistically happen, or who would force, the only one with the balls to force and the pull to force it in would be Disney. And that would be if Ryan Gosling lost all dignity as an artistic creator, performer. And
If Disney's known for anything, it's bold artistic choices.
so do you think Ryan Gosling would cave and do a Marvel movie? Never, right? That Marvel already lost its significance by now to pull in.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Yeah, if he hasn't collected a $17 million paycheck from them by this point, he never will.
Yeah. He was probably offered in something. I don't know. And he was just like, no. Fucking Ryan Gosling. I stomped the guy's fucking face in on an elevator, all right? Like, get the fuck out of my face with that shit. I'm not playing no support cameo bullshit.
It's a smart move, honestly.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying. He's because he has integrity as an actor. He's not just after the
I don't know how
bag.
to fully clarify this, but I feel like the MCU era and the Trump era / the woke era have this intertwined quality. The Marvel started 8 years earlier.
Well, a lot of that like hatred that happened in the woke era and the post 2016 feminism era was fueled by MCU sense of like justice. It was like good
I
battle.
think this is true, but continue. Elaborate.
The battle of good and evil. You know, like once you inseminate that idea in young people's minds, they carry it subconsciously into, oh yeah, feminism good. Anything going against women bad. Believe all women. Yes, all men. You know, shit like that.
It's funny because feminism stuff really fell off, at least.
Well, I don't want to focus on
I'm
the
in.
feminism shit because that was just the start. That
It
eventually
was the
blew-
start. Remember when it just disappeared in 2016?
Do you know why?
2013.
You know better. You're the
I
one.
do.
Yeah. It was because of that video. It's like walking through New York.
New York for 24 hours as a woman, and there is a thick Jewess walking and being catcalled exclusively by Black and Latino men.
And that caused that changed everything.
But
the
that's
focus.
like 2014, I think. That's
Yeah, no, but
The
it didn't
shifts
start
too
taking
strict.
off until like after that. Yeah, between like
Yeah.
2010 to 2016. 2016 was a crescendo of the feminist shit. You know,
with Hillary.
fourth wave feminism. I'm not just gonna call it feminist shit. Let's be real. It's the fourth wave feminist movement, as far as we can tell.
It also got subsumed by trans stuff and broader
my
gender
God,
stuff.
yeah,
What?
yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Trans and gender stuff originally in like a vague Judith Butler form, but then trans stuff completely sidelined the unique concerns of cisgender.
Because any
women.
feminist that spoke against that move was getting stomped, like abstractly curb stomped, you know, on the internet. Like,
and in person, not in person physically, but like having like speaking engagements removed. And
you
all that.
got J.K. Rowling. There's a word for it now, you know. Which, you know, every dog has his day, right? Even those feminists, they got their, what do we call them? Rad femmes?
I get, yeah, that's Rad Fem Hitler. Yeah.
No, well, before they even knew they were rad femmes, they were just feminists. But then, like, suddenly they grew up, you know, they started using their brain, and they were like, wait, why are we bending our knee to these men in dresses? This is their words, not mine.
Much stronger in England than here, which is interesting. I don't have a clear answer. Maybe it's connected to the National Health Institute in England. Maybe it's connected to British cultural trends. Brits have been far more cucked on racism, but far more based on trans stuff.
And it's the opposite in America, maybe.
Yes. Why? I don't know.
You mean wait? Why we had a
Why
one-way-
that dynamic is played out in the UK versus the USA?
Well, because in the UK they just have stronger women, whereas in the US,
Because they're Anglos, yes.
well, no, because they have a more solidified culture under King James, under the kingdom, under Her Majesty, under Her Grace, under God and country.
Yeah, it's crazy. Queen Elizabeth was queen for all of my lifetime up until very
Even if you
recently.
were a fucking packy on the street, if you had a British accent, you knew who the fucking queen was, and you knew to sprinkle some respect on that name. You know, you went to an education at a fucking, what's it called, common school or whatever.
Public schools are elite schools, and I guess common schools are what are public schools here.
I suppose so, but either way, you got your British education, so you knew who the fuck the queen was, and that holds you together. Even if you don't fucking care for the whatever, it's still like, let's say you were stuck as a Brit. You grew up a Brit, but you were stuck in Arizona for like 15 years, and suddenly you hear in a British accent, "God save the Queen." Out of impulse, you might like raise your glass and say the same, you know, just because it reminds you of home. I don't know if that's true, but maybe it is.
Yeah, at one time. I don't know about. It seems like the UK is far more lacking in patriotism than America.
Or maybe their patriotism is just deeper and more complex than ours.
I don't think that's true. I think America has one of the most healthy and deep American patriotism in the world. No, I mean it. It's older than almost every other country in the world. It's more earned, less. There's a lot of contrivance or creation.
No, the reason why I can't give I love our patriotism. I love American patriotism. I do. Oh, maybe love is a strong word, but I feel positively towards American patriotism. It's just,
America's much better at assimilating people than the UK is. That's
it's just I know our
true.
patriotism is more synthetic because it's built. Our patriotism was designed. It's a designer sense of patriotism compared to like more ancient ones, like say the United Kingdom, or say China, or say even like the Russian kingdom. You know.
We've existed as a people for a far shorter time, even if our government has been
Theirs is
stable.
ancient. We're up against some ancient shit, you know? The Aryans. Fucking
America feels particularly assimilationist in a way that these other places don't.
I think America strived too long. America mastered materialism as an ideology compared to every other country, honestly. China tried to do it, but even too many people looked like each other. So even then they couldn't make it work, you know?
No, elaborate on how this works. They look too similar. Talk to me more about this, Chris.
So
it looks same.
If you live in a ethnically homogenous area, like you can't trust the idea of no, we're together by a shared sense of love for our land. No, it's not true. You also fucking look like each other, you motherfuckers. Like
Richie, pull this up on the main screen.
Yeah, I guess I can find the actual proper name.
Whereas America, despite the fact that we all look different from each other, we still manage to garner some sense of cultural nationalism, you know? Our rook same. Dude, this guy's making me think of Professor Jiang. He's this new dude on YouTube who's like unveiling the stuff behind the Illuminati and the Zionists and the culture of Baal. Or the cult of Baal.
Yeah. Richie, pull this up on main screen.
Yeah, how's that? See?
Why? What's so significant about seeing piercings?
No, it's just a dumb meme.
Auric same.
Yeah, that's what your dad looks like, kind of.
My dad?
No,
the guy's like less masculine than your dad.
Yeah, your dad's way more high T. What?
I don't know if he's high T. I think he's just high anger. But he definitely got way less angry now.
Richie, pull up facial comparisons between East Asians. I don't know what you'd Google for that, but
why are you so obsessed with this shit, Carmen?
It's really retarded. No, wait, actually no. Why am I so obsessed with it? I don't know. I think it's because it's a big taboo socially within the time I grew up in.
No.
And also it gives me an ability to categorize things.
I don't think that's true at all.
What do you think it is?
I think you just have the spirit of an explorer, and you want desperately to see the world and engage with different cultures. It's just you never got a chance to. You never got a chance to go to Asia or Africa or South America or Europe, and you want to, and that's what you should have done, right? You should have been doing that. If I were your grandparent, you know, like that's the grandparents' job, is to drag their grandkids, you know, to like different countries. I think. No, I don't know if the
I
parents
think you're
could
right
really,
about that. It's a very astute read.
At least you know what to do for your own grandkids. You can't do that for your kids. Your kids have to fuck off on their own. But for your grandkids, you got to drag them on your old man journey around the world. That's what I'm going to do with my grandkids if I ever have any. I'm not going to drag my kids along. My kids could, you know, whatever, be whoever they are. But my grandkids,
That's the Game of Thrones one, Rich.
I'm going to drag them all around. I'm going to take them to Thailand. I'm going to take them to Brazil. I'm going to take them to Berlin, Moscow. Where would you take your grandkids, Carmen? Papua New Guinea.
That'd be great. Yeah, take them to Botswana and say, see, it's possible to have a semi-functioning African country or a functioning one.
Well, if you took your son or your grandson, I mean, or your son to like the country where your ancestors are from, then like that makes for a good Hallmark movie.
That's true.
It's like like
going to Poland or England.
Yeah, like grandfather, son, and grandson have like their differences and they have tension between them, but then they go to the country and the spirit of their culture suddenly like
Surfuses through all of them.
Makes them see things more clearly, and there's romance involved, right?
Have you seen the Darjeeling Limited?
No. Is it Indian?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, no, it's not Indian. It's a Wes Anderson movie, but it's set in India. It's not about three generations. It's about three brothers going on a road trip in India.
That sounds fun.
It's decent. It's definitely like a lesser Wes Anderson movie, but I find it very significant.
The reason
or
why I
very
want the three of us
personally
to travel to another country together is because I know it would get fucked up in some funny way. I know like Richie would get lost or kidnapped by gangsters or a pimp, and we'd be like, "Where's Richie?" And we'd be like coming down off of some weird drug. It's like, "Where'd Richie go?" It's like, and we spend
These aren't on the main screen, Rich.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
And we'd have to be like, fuck, we gotta rescue Richie from the fucking Papua New Guinea pimp.
Yeah, oh boy, Richie gets kidnapped by Papuan New Guinean cannibals, and we have to rescue him from the cooking pot. And he's just there. He still has his baseball cap on. And he's like, fuck, shit.
And it would be funny.
He's being boiled
and
alive.
you and I, in our effort to rescue him, would get separated. You'd be dealing with some local woman, trying to wrestle with the people to make sure. And I'll be like, I need a weapon. And I would try to go on this weird local journey, the spiritual journey, mystical journey to go get the legendary weapon to kill the cannibals with. And it's and then we would converge. It's like Richie, right as he's about to be dipped into the soup cauldron, it's like, all right, Carmen, you got the locals? Yeah. You got the weapon? Yeah. It's like, all right, let's do this. And then we rescue
with
Richie.
a bunch of women, ethnic women I've seduced. To diffuse the situation, you come out swinging a war club.
It would be tragic. A lot of our friends would die.
No. See, all the Papua New Guineans, they fight like those guys in the video with a lot of hopping and then running away, and you just beat the shit out of them with a block of wood.
And we would all have our own reasons. Like, my reason is because I just don't give a fuck and I have a troubled past. Your reason is because by then your brother had died on the excursion. So it's like, I already lost a brother. I'm not going to lose a friend. And so it's like, all right, Carmen, I'm with you on this because I just don't give a fucking car. And you're like, all right, well, I can't afford to lose Richie. It's like, all right, let's do this. And then it's like, I go on
Richie's thing is just to say I just wanted to go to this shoegaze concert that for some reason was in Papua New Guinea, and instead I'm going to be cannibalized by these. And then he just says a bunch of slurs that we can't repeat.
This camera. Is a good movie idea, honestly. I would love this. Did you see Stavros' movie?
No. Did you?
No. It's all right. You know what it's about?
What?
So Stav plays this guy who's involved in a suicide cult. And he's super into it. He's like, yeah, I'm so stoked to cross over to the other side, right? And the day of, he gets left behind. The rest of the cult just commits suicide. He does it. So he's super bummed out. He's like, wait a minute. I'll just start a new cult.
They don't want to commit suicide with me because I'm a loser.
No. He and it's about him recruiting this ragtag group of suicide cultists so they could all cross over together.
That actually sounds like a great concept.
It's incredible, dude. Yo, it's incredible. I gotta see this movie. You want to watch it together?
Yeah, I'll watch it with you, man. 90 minutes? Yeah, that's a tight time period.
Let's start a cult.
He's the biggest fucking star.
Oh, damn, that's actually...
CM Punk.
That guy looks like a huge faggot.
God.
We gotta watch this shit.
Anthony Bourdain movie. Wow.
Amelia Jones, Stavros. Wow, holy shit.
Do you think Stavros Halkias did one of those fucking Hollywood cult things where he fucked kids and shit?
No,
I think he did something even worse than fucking kids, which was being the one libtard member of Cumtown and betraying his boys.
He's a fucking normie.
He sold his soul in a different way.
Yeah.
He sold his soul not by fucking kids.
You're like, you're gonna leave Cumtown. You're gonna leave Cumtown, and then you're gonna end all of it. But Adam is also doing the same libtard shit too. He's got
Adam's doing no, he is. He's doing a little bit more mainstream. Oh wow, interesting. Wait, has this been released yet?
I don't think so.
Go down. What release date is it?
Oh yeah.
What?
October 24th.
Ooh, I would like to see. Oh, he's just I like to see it because I like Yorgos.
All right, so here's my 10-year plan, right?
Yeah.
10-year plan for Terrorisk is within 10 years, I'd like us to be producing our first movie. producing, writing, and directing our first movie. And I think within 10 years, the technology will be so abundant, we'll be able to do. Where maybe by then our friends will have already produced, like our jerk off friends will have produced movies by then. So within 10 years, let's resolve to fucking produce a movie, a Terrorisk production. I think we'd be good at it. I think the three of us could do it. Richie could help with aesthetics. You could help with themes. I could help with the raw logistics. What do you think?
Yeah.
I would love to make a movie with you guys, man.
I'd love to make a movie with you too.
I would love to make hundreds of
movies. I never tried
movies.
to make a movie ever in my life, despite watching them
Dude,
all the time.
dude.
I always felt like
It's not as hard as you think. It's just like making any other project file,
Yeah.
like on a digital screen. Like you have your elements, you have your materia, you have your footage, then you have your audio lines. Audio you want to record in line with the footage. You know, you ever see in the movie filming process where they do the clipping, like
Yeah.
the reason why they do that is so they could synchronize the audio tracks with the visual cue of that thing chopping, so they know how to line up the audio track easier, and everything's cut, you know, like organized, and then they layer everything, and then you could re-edit, and then you could add like filters, you could add effects, you could recut it, you could do like crazy effects and repeating shots, you could use like the same scene filmed from different cameras, so you could layer it and switch between different, you know, perspectives of a scene, you know. So once you do all that, and you know, you could do all sorts of things. You could also splice in for, you know, other footage, like different takes. And I know how this works, so I'm telling you, we could do this. We could fucking do this. We could even start with like a 15-minute short film, you know?
15-minute short film. I never tried making a movie. Richie, did you ever try it?
No.
I know John has done exactly that, Johnny.
All right, so the hardest part is
What?
the screenplay.
Yeah.
Is the actual writing part, because without that, it's like the foundation. You know, like when you build a building, the main part, you have to start from the ground, right? You have to build on something hard. You can't build a building on sand, right? So you have a strong foundation. Once you have that strong foundation through the writing, then all the logistics, all the aesthetics, all the themes, everything can stand on that. So the writing is the key thing. So would you say you're a strong?
Rich, highlight that paragraph you're laughing at.
Halkias has been noted as a body positive activist. Halkias' involvement with Cumtown has occasionally caused controversy, with criticism levied at the podcast association with the dirtbag left.
I think it's like a reverse of things, but oh, he was in Out magazine. Interesting.
So yeah.
Okay, but no. So making a movie, yes.
Richie, are you down to help us in this excursion?
Sure I did.
What would you like to make a movie about on a low budget? Not like a dream project, but try and think of something that we could shoot on a tiny budget, retarded, who gives a shit.
A road trip movie.
Horror film.
Yeah?
Nah, too hard. Road trip movie is better. Like borderline comedy / drama. Then we could do a horror movie after that. But the first thing has to be something more manageable. It has to be something more intimate. It has to be something that we could lean on teamwork and less as opposed to production value. And if it's something that's resonant with all of us, then it's easier to work on an indie budget. Wow, I'm already working my logistic producer brain. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I'll be the producer, you be the director, Richie could be the effects and cinematography and all that shit. I'm telling you, yo, in 10 years, we're going to be making a fucking movie. 10 years. I'm going to manifest it. I'm sorry, you guys, but I'm involving you in my...
No, I'm happy to do
I'm
so.
involving you in my manifestation rituals now. In 10 years, I'm going to say, we're going to make a movie. You see me do this before. You see me say, I swear to God, I'm going to win first place in that sword tournament. Same thing. I'm going to do the same thing, except I got a much longer time frame, so I'm definitely going to make it happen. All I have to do is stay away from evil bitches, stay away from crack cocaine, stay away from fentanyl, stay away from porn, stay away from... This is all stuff I'm already doing, so...
Yeah, it is, yeah.
"10 years, guys. 10 years we'll be making a movie. And you guys can do all the cocaine and drugs you want. I want you to stimulate your wild creative...
Well, I like that idea. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll be the straight man, you know? I'll be the what's it called? the Rock, and then you guys could be the fucking party animal creatives.
Yeah.
I'll be the Jew.
I like how these articles are clearly written by fans. Personal life. Friedland is Jewish. He's a former fiance of Dasha. Yes, this is not up to standards, by the way.
Right now, we are currently looking through the Wikipedia articles of the
Oh, damn, wow. Boy, her like name being written in Cyrillic.
I think these people have had their time.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for something new. It's our time now.
It very much is. You're right. It is their time is over. Yeah.
It's our time. The minute they got over like 1 million fucking subscribers each, they were over. It's our time now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna deny we're standing on their shoulders. We stand on the shoulders of giants such as, the Red Scare and Come Town. And I'm ashamed to admit it, but Chapo Trap House. But I will say this: Chapo Trap House amounted to fucking nothing. The dirtbag left it fucking nothing. They fucked up. They called everything fucking wrong. They backed the wrong horses every fucking time. They didn't get Bernie Sanders. They didn't get Hillary.
The greatest dirtbag leftist achievement is Disco Elysium.
That's it. That's all they fucking got.
Which is significant, and it's fitting that it's in a video game medium. And as a result, it doesn't actually amount to or tend to anything. But that is interesting that they have Dirtbag Left did have a significant alternative video game achievement, and that was it.
Yep, they didn't affect anything concerning politics, actually,
and they didn't affect culture except in references to them in one video game.
And you know what they
which feels fitting.
And you know what they did do? They got caught up in a bunch of weird alt-lit sexual scandals. They developed crazy drug patterns. They thought therapists were going to solve all their problems. They were fucking stupid. All right? It's because they didn't have God. That's where the dirtbag left fucked up. You couldn't just function on bread alone. You know what I'm saying? Materialist dialectic can...
I know, it's also just like appealing for a certain subsection of millennials, but...
Yeah, the subsection that doesn't have God.
Yeah. Self-described Slovak, Ruthenian, Carbo-Russian, Greek, Eastern Orthodox. Revert to Catholicism.
Maybe it's time for the dirtbag right.
That's been going on for a while.
Or maybe it's time for the dirtbag center.
Dirtbag center sounds nice.
I mean, I consider myself the dirtbag center, honestly. Because me as a centrist isn't about, let's all get along. Me as a centrist is like, can't you both see how fucking retarded you guys are? Can't you see how badly you guys are stupid? That's my form of centrism. I don't care about saying
very Protestant take in the last paragraph. But go on.
I mean, would you agree that kind of defines the spirit of dirtbag centrism?
Yes. I don't know. Perhaps we're in a transitional time and period from what's that materialist, Rich?
Our character?
No, the movie. Did it release? Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yo, you guys cannot be doom scrolling right now.
You're right.
Record
Doom
right
scrolling
now.
even while recording.
Come on, bro. This is what you do on your fucking phones, bro.
I know. I'm breaking up the in between the video footage and this.
You know what? I am glad though. I am glad.
It's Wikipedia scrolling, not doom scrolling.
I was gonna say. I'm glad you're doing this on a desktop and not on your phone.
Yeah. Also, once again, it's not doom scrolling. It's just like
rabbit holing.
Yeah. It's just rabbit holing.
Rabbit holing is
preferable.
Rabbit holing is fun. I like rabbit holing. In fact, if you rabbit hole enough, it could lead you to enlightenment. I really think so.
Perhaps a bunch of people have already been enlightened just from being online. We were bitching and moaning about it, but perhaps there's a bunch of people who aren't even tuned in that, due to the internet, just reached enlightenment.
Without even, yeah, it's like I knew I was enlightened the minute I saw my 37th beheading Al Qaeda video, Al Qaeda beheading video, and then once I saw that, I was like,
the Buddha groomer sent the 15-year-old twink a beheading video on an instant messenger service.
And suddenly the twink started asking, what is life?
And at that moment, the twink was enlightened.
Oh, man.
Oh, I like the idea of being a groomer who's just putting kids through fast-paced enlightenment.
Maybe that is the answer. Like maybe that's the cure. Because if kids have no choice, but if they're like chronically online and they're constantly being like inseminated with these ideas of like, I don't know, ratchet Black America relationship bullshit or ratchet conservative alt-right bullshit like chud shit or ratchet hentai shit and degenerate shit. Like why not fucking, all right, fine, I'll assault you with God. You know, like I'm not even gonna like force anything on you. I'm just gonna like rub it in your face. It's like, see this, see this, see this. Look at the patterns. You notice the patterns? See the patterns? You're gonna like we were talking about it before. Even mathematicians fall into it. They're like, they get so deep into math. They're like, holy shit, there's a divine pattern here. You know, and I don't know how to talk about this with my colleagues. You know. I mean, as a mathematician, you're only going to be staring at the numbers so long and say, "Oh, it's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. It's just numbers. It's just and then eventually you're going to be like, "Wait a minute, this is everything." You know, like monuments were built on this. Ideologies were built on this. Like, any thoughts, Carmen?
No, I just trailed off in thought here. Or not even thought. I'm actually doing the opposite of what I normally do. I'm not thinking at all right now.
Good. Don't think.
I'm very rarely thinking. I am just in the exact moment.
Yeah. Do you notice how like the chuds and the leftist trans people all have messy rooms? Like the right,
yes, you sent us an image about this.
That was a really funny.
And it's true, and they have very similar personalities. They're the exact same people, different sides of the same coin, et cetera, and that's very true. You
know what's fucked up about knowing the cure, but it's also knowing that you can't expect everyone to like adopt it. It's not religion, but it's very if you say spirituality, that's also been co-opted by New Age shit. Yeah. It's like if you say metaphysics, that's still ties.
You say mindfulness, that is a different association.
Raising consciousness. Yeah.
It's really like, I don't know, good behaviors, proper behaviors.
That's why I keep it simple by saying gratitude. Everyone should be more gratitude.
I know you were not saying everyone should be more gratitude, except the first time you mentioned this on the podcast, and I said that to mock you in it. But you embraced it. It's stuck, rightfully. It's a great...
I mean, whether I was annoyed by it or not doesn't matter at this point, because it's just fucking... It's stuck. Everyone should... Because I agree with it. You know, ultimately, everyone should be more gratitude. It's just... It's not that I think gratitude is the most important virtue. I think it's more like... Virtues are like plants. You know, they start as a seed and they grow into something grander. Gratitude is like the fertile soil where those seeds can actually take plant and grow. Without gratitude, you can't experience any virtue whatsoever. That's why Buddhist doctrine, that's why the Ten Commandments, that's why Christian virtues, that's why none of them list gratitude, because to them, it's like it goes without saying. But they should say it because it's fucked up that it's overlooked.
I think this is an insightful development from the last time we talked. I think correct. They took it as... It was an underlying quality or something that was built in.
Yeah. So I was like, you know, this is why I don't have to preach anything like Christianity or Buddhism. I'm like, gratitude. With gratitude, you'll figure out your own way. I don't give a fuck if you turn into a Christian after that or whatever. As long as you remember gratitude. Because without that, you're not going to make anything else work. You could become the most devout Buddhist, the most devout Protestant, the most devout Jew. It doesn't fucking matter. Without gratitude, you're going to become a horrible practitioner. You're going to become evil. You're going to become a dark side. You're going to become a dark mind wizard. You're going to manipulate people. You're going to fucking exploit people. You're going to use people for your own material gain. However, if you remember gratitude, it nullifies that. Would you rather give $1 billion to an ungrateful person or $1 billion to a grateful person?
Hell, I would give $1 to a grateful person over giving $1 billion to an ungrateful person.
There you go. That's what I mean. Like, gratitude it's so fundamental that even the religions decided it wasn't worth mentioning. And yet here we are in 2025 and like we all forgot it. We all chose indignance over gratitude. That's the real sloth.
It probably goes along with being so materially rich. Because, like, you know, people in times of famine prayed and gave thanks for what they had. Whereas we, in a time of abundance, are so ungrateful.
But there's ways to cure that. And there is one cure. And whether it was we live in a material abundance or not, there is one unfortunate cure.
What's that?
This is going to get dark. So the one cure for this symptom that we're talking about is trauma. Trauma is going to ground you really quickly, and trauma is always also going to propel your psychic development, your psychic defenses, your psychic offenses, everything. Experiencing trauma and getting past it is going to unlock your metacognition. Now, the problem with trauma is we don't know. First of all, we treat trauma as a taboo. Like trauma is just something that no one should ever have to go through. Meanwhile, it's ironic because we can't think of a single person.
We're also obsessed with it and obsessed with women can believe that trauma is like stored in a sack in their head.
But we also
need to go to therapy to release.
But it doesn't make sense because you can't think of a single person who hasn't been traumatized in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So trauma is clearly something that's natural, you know, if it happens to everyone.
Yeah.
Also, I would even go so far as to say trauma is necessary for developing, like I said, psychic faculties. Now, if only there was a way to induce psychological trauma in a controlled setting. Oh, wait, we have ancient psychedelic rituals that they've been doing since like ancient Egypt to like apparently transfer, you know, the consciousness of dead rulers to a new body, to a new manifestation. Which, is that possible? Maybe. I don't know. I've never took it that far. I never got into human sacrifice or sacrificing.
I wonder how much, like if you sacrifice a bunch of people, you build up mana points, and then you can cast levitation on people. Or consider you go to a human sacrifice and they're just shooting magic missiles at one person, and they're very slowly dying from a 1d4 plus 1 dice again and again.
Look, when I talk about this shit, what's most eerie about it is if I completely swap out all the mystical terminology for like complete materialist, analytical, psychological terminology.
A lot of people will take it more seriously because that's the dominant lens of our time.
No. What I'm saying is that it still tracks. It's like they run parallel, which is scary to me because that just makes it, that validates it. Every psychological, you know, pathology we categorize and come up with, it's already running parallel to some spiritual malady that we've already identified in some cultural context or another, you know? And that's eerie. That's scary. We talk about schizophrenia. We see shamans. We talk about like, you know, bouts of like bipolar manic mania, negative mania, and we hear about possession. You know, like we talk about like sudden like understanding of life calling and sudden like periods of like radical self-reflection and self-actualization. Meanwhile, we call it ascension, divine purpose, you know, divine energy. Like Trump getting shot in the ear, suddenly that creates like a megalomania effect that literally he becomes like too big to fail. Whereas in a spiritual terminology, you could say
he's probably too big to fail before that, but the shooting just added another layer to it. I'm
saying like when you align these things, it's not about like relying solely on materialist terminology, relying solely on spiritualist terminology. Is if you walk a path where those truths align for you in a way where they both point to the same direction that you want, you win. There's nothing stopping you. You win on a metaphysical level and a materialist level. And they reinforce each other. Most people, they only operate on the materialist level, so they're fighting like basically without one of their senses, one-armed. If you use both, whereas, you know, there's people that only try to operate pure, like escapists, like New Agers. They say, oh, let's deny 3D and ascend to the 5D universe, blah, blah, blah. It's like
they're trying to operate on purely mental or spiritual level.
Intuitive, yeah. But if you could synthesize those two things, then you're operating ambidextrously.
Yeah.
Using both hemispheres to their optimal effect. I'm not saying that's what I try to strive for. It's just I notice I have a better propensity for that compared to New Agers. And then when I talk to people at work who make a lot of fucking money and I'm like, hey, do you believe in God? And then a lot of them are Jews and they'll say, yeah, automatically. But then they'll just like spout this shit, like thousands of years of history in the Talmud, you know, steeped in the Talmud and all that, which is nice. But they don't got a monopoly on God as much as they like to think so. So yeah, man cannot survive on bread alone. So I was talking about before how, like, you know, there's entities, right?
Yeah, different things that you're a vessel for,
yeah,
a vehicle for, that you're being channeled by these individuals.
So knowing
these
this,
spirits, these entities.
So like a lot of people look at it differently. A lot of people look at it in terms of like demonic possession. A lot of people look at it in terms of like angelic purpose or angelic, like making deals with the angels or God. Some people could just look at it as like, I never want to be, connected to any entity whatsoever. What about you? How do you feel about such a thing?
Probably more of that. I'm not interested in engaging with demons or angels. I'd probably be more inclined to engage with pagan, more neutral or distant spirits, but I find it intriguing. It's like in the Iliad.
You're old school about it then. I'll explain what I meant, but continue.
In the Iliad, the different heroes are described as being possessed by bravery or fear or wisdom.
The spirit of the warrior.
And they will abruptly lose it in the midst of battle and then run back. And this goes back and forth with them. It's a different psychology than how I conceive of things, but
well, you're open-minded, so you're opening your mind to it, and you're imagining, you're assimilating to it, kind of. I think, I look at it in more of if I were to relay it to the modern audience better, I would consider it as like us being born as humans. We're like all players of this game of life. It's a game. You can look at it as a game, at least to the gods above us, between us and the supreme God. Those lowercase g gods, they look at it as like a game. We are the athletes. They're the sponsors. Now, you could be an amateur. You could play as an amateur in this game, which is fine. Like amateur leagues are very, very, very important. They foster community. They foster meaning in the game. They foster the love of the game, passion for its own sake. Whereas if you want to get to a higher level, a pro leagues, you can't do it without a sponsor. You need a sponsor. And there's many different sponsors you could choose from. There's sponsors that engage with like power and chaos and destruction and domination. There's sponsors that deal in gratitude and positivity and and love and compassion. And there's sponsors that deal in logic, wisdom, truth. There's sponsors that deal with exploration, the unknown,
There's different patron deities you pick up, yeah.
And I think there's negative and positive polarities in all of it. And I think at one point, hypothetically speaking, let's say it's all real. A long time ago, longer, way before we can even remember, these entities existed in small circles, right? These little tribes. And once in a while, these tribes of deities would fight against each other. And then if they won or lost, they would assimilate into their tribe and become bigger. Now, fast forward many, many eons later, the number of tribes got smaller and smaller and smaller until there was just two sides left. And I think that's what we're going through. I think at one point in our history, the deities that we were like,
the last deities left are the donkey and the elephant.
You could say it, or light and dark, or light and shadow, or you could say good and evil. It's basically, these, after eons of divine warfare and physical warfare, now it's like all these circles have assimilated into just two sides, where they've all like defeated each other, fought each other, and now they've all sided with each other, and there's only two sides left, and they're massive each. And a level higher above that is all of our Father, is the supreme God, who is just coming to a decision. We see this cosmic battle. We see our physical World War III battle between good and evil. But to God, it's just, what am I going to do? Maybe for him, it's just, what am I going to eat for breakfast? Eggs or salad? Maybe it's literally for God, that's all it is. And for us, is this whole cosmic warfare.
Something so grand and important to us is just a very petty thing to him. The interactions of ants.
Yes.
What do we care about for the war of an ant colony? That's how he feels about humanity's struggles.
Absolutely, and this is why it's important to like open people's minds about this shit, because it's very unifying. Everything we care about in terms of like our differences becomes very petty. In this perspective, does it not?
It does. Everything gets minimized. Not even minimized. Everything becomes put into perspective at how small it is.
And it's not like telling you what to do.
The ending of Gangs of New York, where it time lapses from over the graves.
But it's still meaningful as fuck, because think of all the pain, all the joy, all the craziness you've experienced. Even as a insignificant ant,
Yeah.
you're still able to experience all this. So what does that tell you about everything? It tells you everything is insane. Maybe it's not the way the Judeo-Christian narrative spells it. Maybe it's not the way like the Hindus spell it. Maybe it's not the way the fucking pagans spell it. But there is something going on that we just can't perceive with our materialist sensibilities and our faculties, you know?
Yeah. Something grander, something older.
And I think it's
something more
accessible.
Spiritual.
And I think it is accessible. All we got to do is just look at things in a slightly different way. For example, pattern recognition. That's the key. And that is what IQ is, right?
Yeah, it is. IQ is almost entirely pattern recognition.
And if you can recognize patterns, and if you have a high IQ, you recognize patterns, and you engage with spirituality, religion, you're going to come out a lot better. If you engage with martial arts, if you engage with chess, painting. But the problem is, like, the people who are good at pattern recognition, who engage in the arts, they try to tap into their logic and reason. They don't just tap into simplistic pattern recognition. They don't tap into, hey, this
something intuitive. They tap into rationalizing or overthinking.
It's like, oh, this sold, this made money, and you know, I got. But if you just
want to analyze as opposed to feeling it holistically.
But if you just tapped into the patterns of it, you know, like if you were just like a musician with no musical talent, but you tapped into the patterns of what like people like about songs, you realize like you could make songs that people really enjoy without. You know, musical genius. You just have to tap into the patterns of enjoyable music. Computing too. Like I don't have to be a genius programmer to shave off like literally 10 hours of my work operation time. If I could just understand the patterns of what I'm doing, automate that by saying, here's my day-to-day routine. Please generate code that could, you know, assimilate these apps together, and boom, spits it out. And then if it doesn't work right, then I adjust it. Because I know the patterns. I know what the pattern is supposed to be day to day in the work operations. Same thing with art or music. Like I know what makes the song catchy. It's because people expect these patterns. The psyche responds to certain patterns of change and consistency. And if you could use that and apply that to your own creative output, you just tap into patterns. Or even manipulating people. You know that we are what we can't stop doing. If you take any given person, all you got to do is watch them for like a month. If you watch them for a month, maybe 2 months to be safe, you could control their whole fucking life. Because you're going to see, if you're watching them at all times throughout that 2 months, and they don't know you're watching them, you're going to see what they cannot stop doing. Once you see what a person cannot stop doing, you control their whole fucking frame of life. Also, that boils down to, say, you know, on a mass surveillance or media scale. Like you could say, like, what dictates, like, I don't have to control how you're feeling. All I have to do is just make you feel a series of different emotions, you know, throughout your day. If throughout your day I can make you feel angry, then sad, then happy, then scared, then grateful. And if I could control your emotional states by just feeding different images across your fucking feed, and then I control that pattern, I control a third of your fucking life, your reality. Because our reality is what? Our thoughts, feelings, and actions. You know? So if I control your feelings, the rate at which you feel shit, the pattern, the cycle of that, then I control a third of your fucking reality, dude. I control a third of the decisions you'll ever make. I'll control a third of how you respond to everything that happens. This is why holistic understanding empowers you. It's like it could really undo you, because you end up, if you're greedy, you'll use it to manipulate people. It's really easy to manipulate people once you understand everyone functions on a pattern. And, you know, if you're unawakened, if you're uninitiated, you don't want to think of yourself as operating in patterns. You want to think you're this unique, special snowflake where everything you do is spontaneous and original. But that's not true. We all function in patterns based upon biology, personal experiences, wisdom, intelligence that was inseminated into us from like outside source, everything. But they do function in patterns. Mathematicians figure this out. This is why they can't help but believing in God. And this is why the false ones get venerated. Like, so that they veer us away from this like understanding. Pattern recognition. I mean, you want to talk about IQ. You love that. A lot of materialists do. It's all pattern recognition.
No, it is. It 100% is.
Now the question is it strictly genetic? The propensity for a person?
No, it's not strictly. There's nutritional. There is some level of cultural. There's some level.
Can you train a person's sense of pattern recognition?
To a certain degree.
What about you, Richie? Do you think you could train someone's pattern recognition?
I guess.
How far and to what degree you can I don't know, Rich. I know we pulled you into this, but what do you think? Pattern recognition.
As a person, it's case by case.
Bro, if you could teach a fucking chimpanzee how to like solve a puzzle before he gets a fucking treat, you could definitely fucking.
I mean, yeah, you can do that. Make it just kill you. I would not trust chimpanzee.
What?
I wouldn't trust chimpanzee. I think it would just kill you if it wanted to.
No, I wonder. Well, I don't know. With the chimpanzee, it is, or any of the other great apes, it is probably not gatekeeped. There's like a biological limit in a way that there isn't with even the dumbest of humans. The dumbest of humans, you can train to do something simple in a way you can't train other animals.
You could train them to be a Marine.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so if there's one thing that I want people to glean from this episode is that when you hear talk of IQ,
Yeah.
they're literally referring to pattern recognition.
Yeah, all the real IQ tests, like Raven's matrices, are all just pattern recognition.
Like they're not giving you.
It's not a perfect form. It's a decent approximation of general intelligence.
Well, it's also abstract thinking as well.
Yeah, abstract thinking as well. Yeah,
But that's-
which doesn't always correlate to different talents, but it does have a generally speaking positive effect across.
But wait, I would say by nature, pattern recognition is the abstract thinking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like when you're thinking of abstract things, you're basically utilizing pattern recognition to be able to formulate abstract concepts or perceptions or perspectives.
Yeah.
It's all pattern recognition.
You ever talk to someone who, like a second generation American, where they can speak in fluent but very concrete and childish forms of their parents' language, whether it's often Spanish but a bunch of other languages? You'll find some Moroccan and they'll say, like, my ability of Moroccan is limited to talking about food, going certain places. I am not able to talk about philosophy. I can only do that in English.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Their ability to model abstract thinking and things and concepts is language limited, but it also reveals their actual abilities.
I don't know if that's so true, for example, in Asian culture.
Go on, tell me.
Where it's apparent that to the Asians they could get a real good and accurate gauge of your character by looking at your posture, from how you sit, from how you behave in like certain situations and contexts, from how you react. So they're able to, and I think there's something to that, you know, because that deals more with the subconscious expressions of your psyche and your experiences as opposed to the surface layers you could put up with your ego, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I gotta say, like, yeah, I think there's always going to be something of your soul that gets betrayed if you just learn how to look as the observer, which is very hard to do. I don't want to just say that like that's like a thing that anyone could do, because the only way to really peer into someone's soul,
Yeah.
is if you're good with your own soul. Is if your soul is the more clear your soul is, the less blockages there are, the less things that are on your mind. So you can look at anyone else. It's like, it's even at a party. It's like, you know how many times where I had the best conversations where it's like, I would just be sitting there, like smoking a cigarette, looking despondent. I don't feel despondent. I'm looking that way.
Right.
And
And
then
someone
some-
approaches you.
And then they're like, yo, are you okay? What's up? Like, blah, blah. What's your name? And then I'll be like, listen, after a minute talking, I'll be, listen, I'm fine. Honestly. How are you? What's going on with you? And suddenly they tell me, it's like, oh, I've been having a problem with my ex, or it's like, oh, I've been having a problem with my job. You know, and they open up. And it's like, because I know, it's like, honestly, to God, it's like, sincerely in my own head, I was like, I'm good. Honestly, what the fuck does this person need? Because clearly they came to someone. Maybe they want to feel of use. Maybe they want to feel needed. Why? Maybe they want to
They
feel
wanted to interact with someone who wasn't them.
Exactly.
Perhaps they had all these things rolling through their head, and they didn't know exactly where it was going. But they were like, maybe this guy has much worse issues.
But
than
is
me.
that? But as that?
Maybe this guy will help me out with my own issues.
But that's
Or
fine
maybe
with
this
me.
guy will just distract me.
But that's fine with me.
Yeah,
because-
same.
and
I
Is,
feel the exact same
is
way.
that not a better position to be in to make the world
than
a better
being
place?
stuck in your own head?
Exactly.
Oftentimes, when you're stuck in your own head or held up on something, maybe the best thing to do is to interact with another person.
Exactly, because I'm usually when I'm at a party, yeah, I won't talk to anyone, but at the same time, I'm not displeased. I'm like, it's like, you know, the term hard to impress but easy to please.
Yes.
That's exactly what I am at like a party. I'm just sitting there. I'm having a drink from my little red plastic cup, smoking a cigarette if I could smoke indoors. I don't have to smile because I'm not trying to like attract anyone. So I'm just sitting there chilling, looking at everything. Someone comes up, he's like, dude, is everything okay? It's like, but I usually have the best conversations that way because then that gives me an opportunity to say, listen, dude, I'm fine. What's up with you? Like, are you good? What do you need anything? Like, I got a cigarette. You want a cigarette? You know, it's like, you want to smoke this joint with me? And then that's when they open up and they tell me things like, yeah, I'm pissed off because like, you know, this guy showed up at this party. I didn't want him to show up. Or they'll tell me things like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to have a job tomorrow. Or they'll tell me things like, I got to move and I still got to deal with like all the furniture. I've had I've had really great conversations because I'm able to empathize with them. It's like, yeah, I've been through well, not all of it. Sometimes they would tell me some crazy shit.
Yeah,
but most of the time it's like stuff that I could relate to. And it's like, maybe I didn't go through the exact same thing, but I could say I've been through something similar. And I could say that I'm listening, you know, I'm saying again, because they know like I'm good. I don't need anything from them. So again, when you're in this state, you just make the world a better place.
I want to use the bathroom. Do you mind taking a break or?
Yeah, we could take a break.
Yeah. What are we at time?
We're at 150.
Almost done. How you feeling, Rich?
I'm okay.
Good. What kind of bike you got?
I made it parts. It's some bike I found outside my house.
What kind of frame you got?
It's a Fuji frame, I think.
Fujis are good.
Yeah.
Is it a single speed setup?
I don't know what different. I don't know what that means in like in context.
It means there's like no derailleur gears. There's only one gear setting.
I think so. Yeah. It belonged to a cop, apparently.
Really?
There's a cop sticker on it. It belongs to NYPD.
Well, if you're ready to put some money up, I could make it good because I'm a bike mechanic, not certified. But.
Yeah, let's find it.
Richie, we got to do this, man. You're only going to be in your 20s for so much longer.
I have one more year left. Yeah.
You can't go into your 30s without becoming a cyclist.
I could ride a bike. It's not something I've done for a while.
You ever ride a bike in New York City?
Like once, like 5 years ago.
Was it fun?
I was kind of like nervous because we're like.
Nah, you got to ride with me, bro.
Yeah.
I'll lead the pack. I've done this many times. Worst case scenario, you get hit, but you won't get run over.
True.
I gotta tell you, writing a blues song was fucking difficult.
What's going on? Wait, I'll be right back.
It's the little one. This is the last year I found it. It's outside my house, yeah.
What does it look like now?
Well, it's like 2 wheels for it. See? Thicker.
It's not bad. Yeah, so I was just saying how writing a blues song is pretty difficult.
Why is that? Within the simplicity, within the strict regimen or formula of it, or what?
The swing aspect. But it created the foundations for a lot of things like metal.
All of rock, at least according to rock musical historians. Yeah.
Yep. I really thought you said you were taking chorus lessons or choir.
No, I don't know what that was. That was stood out to you as such.
I know Richie wanted to take singing lessons.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
Nothing on YouTube or nothing you wanted, or you wanted to have a direct response.
I mean, yeah, YouTube was fine, but like I have to like hold myself away to do that shit.
Man, singing, learning how to sing is very, very difficult. But it's like riding a bike.
Once you do it, you never lose the ability.
I think so. I got to record this song and then I'll know if I got it, because once I hear myself like on the recording, I think I got it now finally, because like I never sung where it's like I hear it, I feel it, where it's like you sing it, you hear the guitar notes that you're playing along with it, you hear it together and it creates this feeling of like a putting on 3D glasses and finally seeing the 3D image, you know? It's like I finally understand like how to control and modulate the vocal cords to harmonize with the guitar in a proper way.
Gin's interesting, by the way, because it's basically British vodka. It's like vodka that is infused with certain flavors from various plants and roots and botanicals.
Yes, but the problem with gin is that
High Q vodka. Yeah.
the problem with gin is that it instills the melancholy compared to the rum, which instills the party.
The jolly, yeah.
Mhm.
It's all within the British drinking dynamics of gin versus rum.
Yep. Because if you look at
and whiskey too.
during the Prohibition era, that was a rivalry. It was the gin hustlers versus the rum hustlers, because the people
And
like
whiskey being a particularly American thing as well. But yes,
people like the gin because I mean, you know, you could get somber with it during the day, but people like the rum because you get rowdy on the rum, you know.
yeah,
And it's interesting how
Soldiers drink as well, gin.
yeah,
Soldiers
both
and-
are, yeah. Both, yeah.
it's interesting how like the different spirits give you different spirits, you know. Like vodka could really fuck.
I hate vodka. I
It's a
don't
spiritual-
I try to avoid drinking vodka as much as possible.
Koreans love vodka because they love suffering.
Yeah, women love vodka for the same reason.
Sometimes vodka can be classy though. Like imagine if like
Vodka just comes down to how much it's filtered. And how
imagine
neutral the
imagine if
taste
Satan was like a guy that looked like
Yeah.
like Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
Fassbender, and he lived in like an ice palace, and he had a bunch of hot, ice cold women, white women, and like platinum hair,
It
and
doesn't
like
sound like Michael Fassbender, but go on.
who does it sound like that?
That was Lee Van Cleef, the
Yeah.
Fine, whatever, that guy. So imagine
Or
that
the Robert, whatever, the guy, the 80s musician.
Robert Pattinson.
No, the other Robert. Another Robert. Robert Blake? No, Robert Blake. I didn't mean to turn you on. Yeah, go on. Keep talking.
All right, but
I need to
in that
Google this
setting-
separately from Richie's Googling.
Imagine like a big gigantic ice cube, put in a nice glass,
Mm-hmm.
crystal glass, and then they take
It's a very 80s aesthetic.
and they take a bottle of Grey Goose out of the freezer, so it's frozen, and they pour it into the crystal glass, and they put in some citrus, maybe lemon or lime, whatever you prefer. I say lemon, right?
Yes, lemon's preferable.
And on top of that, not only do you have this frozen vodka out of the crystal glass with the lemon twist, but you have some caviar.
Robert Palmer.
All right.
Hey, that
Richie,
guy, yeah.
Google Robert Palmer.
And,
sure.
and you have some caviar. How does that sound to you?
Sounds okay.
Really? That's what frozen expensive vodka and caviar
Yeah,
sounds like to
vodka.
you?
I don't care for the aesthetic. You can Robert Palmer girls.
All right. How about this? How about a more nautical setting, right?
Oh, okay. Yes,
You're-
I love it. It's gayer, so I prefer it.
All right, nautical setting. You're in Eastern Europe, and you're
Yeah.
you're in a shanty style tavern, right?
Yeah.
You're aboard a fisherman's boat, and you happen to dock somewhere in Eastern Europe, and they have like some homemade frozen potato vodka,
Yeah.
and then fresh local caviar, and then you had it together, and then you get to hear some Eastern European songs, and you get to fuck an Eastern European local rural woman.
Until you mentioned the woman, this sounded like a wonderful dynamic.
All right, But how does it taste sound then? You know,
The taste sounds good, especially after a
maybe
long
you're more
period.
affected by the environment. You know,
Maybe that's true. But
no, because that's first of all, you got to admit, like even fine, like 3-star Michelin restaurants account for the aesthetics when it comes to the setting in which you taste the dish, because that also affects the taste. I mean, do you know restaurants? Some restaurants even like account for like the style of flooring you would use because the way it reflects aroma.
yeah. No, I did not know that, but that makes sense. I don't care. I don't know. I don't have enough experience with hot cuisine.
High cuisine?
Haute cuisine.
What does that mean?
High cuisine.
That sounds too
It's
hot.
the French.
That sounds
version.
too hot for me.
Yeah,
I've never been to a really classy or
I
expensive
haven't
restaurant.
either. It might be interesting to go. We just need to find a social connection to be able to eat at a place for free. I don't want to ever pay for that kind of food, but I would love to meet someone and get it for free.
There was a place in Staten Island called Bin 5.
Mm.
And that was one of those places where you go in, you basically pay for like a multiple course thing. You choose your wine, you know?
Mhm.
Honestly though, if you were to ask me like, Chris, what's your favorite restaurant in Staten Island? Which is hard because, you know, there's a lot of good places to eat. And I haven't taken you guys to like all the good ones yet, honestly. But so far, the best one that I've been to, I've already taken you to. And it was that fucking Sri Lankan place.
Oh yes, that's a great place. You've taken me, but we need to take Richie to the Sri Lankan.
It's to me,
place.
it's my favorite place because they got the
Richie would absolutely love it
because you could eat with your hands there. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Also, the place is so beautiful on the inside. It's like it's beautiful because it's like the most. It's like an outrageous racist caricature
yeah.
of colonialism in the subcontinent.
It's like what a British guy would in the 1800s would decorate his like shed in, you know, like on his rural grounds. He's like, "Would you like to see my little hobby?
Yeah.
Every spring I go to the Congo, where I kill little black babies and steal their furniture."
Watch Fern, the mud piles. You have to conscript and slave them to make figurines, and then you can buy those. But
I mean, all right. So when it comes to actual like I don't know, like robbing and stealing of humans, where do you think the most in terms of human trafficking? Not that I know much about human trafficking. If I did, I probably wouldn't talk about it, and also I probably would have a lot more money. But that being said, that aside, where do you think the most valuable human trafficking subjects or product, quote unquote, come from?
probably Eastern Europe, and it's like Eastern European women.
God damn, you! It's like you read my mind. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing because that's
Probably
that's where the
human
white.
trafficking, yeah, where you can find poor white women to rape that are attractive. It's Eastern Europe.
That's true.
Particularly for oligarchs all around the world.
And it's a constant war zone, so people disappear
Yeah.
all the fucking time. It's unfortunate, but yo, it's so true. Even like, you know, on the more like surface level terms of like sex trafficking, you know, like where it's not people disappearing, but people just like willingly selling themselves. They always come from some like Eastern European or Balkan.
They're also closer to major high income markets because they're still in Europe technically. They're just Eastern Europe instead of Western Europe.
Yeah. This is why I gotta go to Eastern Europe and rescue one of them and find me a wife.
Yeah, we need to go on a. Where would you like to go in Eastern Europe, Chris? Do you want to go to the Balkans?
Russia.
Russia. Unfortunately, the war going on makes it
I know.
difficult.
I want to go straight to Moscow and find me a wife. And
Well,
it's
if
not
you
going to
can't
be
choose-
it's
if
not
you-
going to be some like fucking like sex path thing. It's going to be straight up it's going to be both. It's if we're attracted to each other, great. But this is going to be a business deal for both of us. You're going to help me connect with
You
Eastern
as
Europe.
an Asian passport bro going to Russia. If you can't go to Russia, where in Eastern Europe would you go?
Poland?
Poland? Okay. So what if we had a trip to Poland to find Chris a wife? Richie, we're in
A Polish
Warsaw.
wife? Yeah, but if I find a Polish wife, it's going to be the exact opposite of like a Russian wife. It's a Polish wife's going to be like, So, you ever heard about that good old guy Hitler? He's he's a pretty swell guy.
I know a lot of Poles hate the Germans because of World War II, and they hate the Soviets too. So maybe as a dirtbag centrist, Poland is your best choice because they're conservatives, but they also hate fascists and communists.
Yeah, Polish would be nice.
Yeah.
Polish beer, Polish meats, Polish food, Polish
Yeah.
culture, Polish Koreans, Polish Korean fusion food.
East meets East. You're making your pierogi. What are Korean dumplings called? Bimbog or some bullshit like that.
Dumplings?
Yeah.
Mandu.
Mandu. You're going to have kielbasa mandu in your kids. Or you're gonna create that.
I wouldn't feel right like claiming that until I learned how to speak Korean like more than fluently, because I really want to like master the language. It's my native tongue. It's supposedly my native tongue. So
It's
I'm
your
like,
ancestral tongue.
Yeah.
How good is your Polish? I'm sorry. How good is your Korean? How good is your Korean right now?
almost fluent. I'm getting there. I just have to get the numbers down and I'll be set.
You think so? How much time have you got? You haven't gone to Korea since you were a kid, so you probably should go to South Korea just so that you can immerse yourself in the culture.
I mean, if I went to South Korea now, I'd probably get depressed.
Yeah.
I'd be like, this is not looking good, guys. It's literally a fucking cyberpunk dystopia over there.
And both Koreas are a dystopia. You saw all those things I sent you on Twitter about North Korean propaganda or involvement in the Ukraine-Russia conflict.
Why? What about North Korean propaganda?
Richie, could you pull up? Oh, sorry.
Oh God, what do you want?
No, I feel like I'm abusing you. I'm doing this to keep things rolling. If you go to Twitter, pull up the things I messaged the Terrorisk
I'll be right back.
podcast.
Keep pulling it up. You talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here, we're seeing a mugging in Flushing led by... Well, no, we'll have to bring that up when Chris is on camera.
Sure.
Sorry. Go on. So a lot of North Koreans are involved in the Russian-Ukrainian war
Oh shit.
because and look at their propaganda and how much they can't depict smiling Russian soldiers. North Koreans are not used to drawing happy whites, but it's also they're not used. The idea of drawing a happy Russian is also self-contradictory. What do you think of these, Chris?
This is brilliant. I like
This is North Korean propaganda about the war in Ukraine.
This is sick artwork. Totally untrue, probably, but sick nonetheless. You know what I watched on YouTube
What?
or on Twitter, I should say? I literally watched a Ukrainian piloted drone, like
Yeah.
a little drone, not like a major drone, like a little helicopter, quadricopter drone, zip in to like a firing squad of North Korean soldiers, and this drone flew right through the line, the tactical column, right? It flew past where one soldier got caught between another one and the drone, and like the guy shot at the drone and shot his own homie. So like I was
fuck.
like, that's where the North Koreans are at right now, huh? Like they're
They're
literally
really living in a slapstick comedy.
like,
about,
bro, they're shooting each other.
Yeah.
You know, like
read
that's-
this, Chris. Read this whole thing.
Police have released images of 3 suspects wanted for beating up a man and stealing his iPhone at Casino Park in Flushing. This sounds like really Flushing. The 23-year-old victim was inside the park around 9:20 p.m. on Sunday, September 14th, when he was ambushed in the area of 4621 Colden Street. The 3 males kicked and punched him about the body and stole his iPhone 13, according to police. Anyone with information... this is just a mugging.
It's a mugging, but look at the guys committing the mugging.
I'll tell you, this guy's the leader. The right, the fat ass fucking guy.
No, tell me about these dynamics, Chris.
I mean, it's this typical Flushing gangster shit. They got the North Face shit, white shirt. Like, they like athletic wear because they to them it's like fighting is like the game, the sport, and that's how they that's how the gangs establish power amongst each other. It's like, bro, I'll fuck you up. Let's fight. They don't get into guns for some reason because they're not that hood, but
Yeah, they're very bourgeois, so they all agree collectively not to get into guns.
that's pretty honorable though.
It is.
The only thing is, if I got caught up with that, I wouldn't bother with like knives and fist fighting. I would just take out a sword. I would.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, like once you whip out a sword and unsheath it, like you gotta cut some dude, because if you don't,
Yeah, once you draw that sword, it must taste blood.
because they'll jump you and you die. Like think about it. If you and your boys were dead set on beating the shit out of some dude, and like he pulls out a samurai sword but doesn't use it and hesitates, like you almost have no choice but to just
It's self-defense for you to jump.
yeah. It's like, yo, let's get his sword and kick the shit out of him. He tried to fucking kill us, pull a samurai sword, it'll kill us, dude. It's like it becomes really justified. So you got to be really careful. So it's like if I pull that sword out, I got to like cut somebody, and it's not fun. You don't want to think about doing that shit.
Yeah.
And then you got to run away afterwards, and hopefully like no one saw you. And also, like, are they gonna snitch? You never know that.
Yeah.
That's why if I pulled out a sword, I wouldn't try to like slice or cut or chop. You know what I would do?
What would you try to do?
I would poke. I would
yeah.
stab in the gut.
Just using it as a spear, yeah.
I would stab you in the gut. I'll put my left foot forward with my left hand on the bottom of on the handle, and I would just poke. I would just put a little hole in your diaphragm or something, and it's puncture a little hole in your lung. Say, all right, I'm leaving now. Bye. And that's it. But if they keep jumping you, then you just got to keep hacking away. Like, what else can you do?
Yes, very true. Poking, you're using it as a spear against unarmed combatants, so it's really trad of what you're doing. Yeah. It's very traditional, actually, to utilize it. I thought about
this because, like, I've been training at the dojo for like 7 years in Manhattan, or 8 years by now. Maybe
8 years. Okay, so it was 2017 that you started training. Yeah. Why did you start training in swordsmanship?
Why?
Yeah. What brought you? How long were you thinking about it before you first when you went to your first class?
I could tell you what was going on in my mind. Make sure that water doesn't. Yeah. I could tell you what was going on in my mind. I was in Canada. I just came back from my like second visit.
Because of your Polish Canadian girlfriend that things went bad with.
I don't know if she was Polish. I think she was Scandinavian or something. I don't know. But like,
wait, what were you saying? I'm pretty sure she was Polish. Go on.
All right. Oh yeah, because the name. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I was at the airport, and I was like, when I get back to America, I'm gonna start practicing martial arts again, because like life was looking more plausible, more open, more undefined. So I was like, I'm gonna define it. And then I remember I did karate for from like 6 to 12. So then I was like, I want to do sword shit, because like I liked anime, I liked video games, and like I want to learn some sword shit. So the first thing that came to mind was kendo, and obviously like everyone knows about kendo. Yeah. But then like on my research, I saw like the term kenjutsu. I was like, what the fuck is kenjutsu? And then I learned what kenjutsu was, and then I was like, are there kenjutsu schools in New York City? Yes. And lo and behold, there were. Yeah,
everything in here.
So I learned, when I started kenjutsu, I learned from 2 schools, because I was like, let's try both schools and see which one is better for me. And I stuck with both for a while, because I was like, I realized they were both valuable. And eventually, one school pulled me away more, because I started teaching for that school. So I had responsibilities and whatnot.
So you dropped the kendo school and you're just in kenjutsu?
No, they were both kenjutsu.
Okay, I see.
One style of kenjutsu just focused more on fencing between sword and sword. The other style of kenjutsu focused more on like cutting from the draw. Very different mentalities,
Yeah. How are you doing on time?
We're probably well past, but we could
2
talk.
hours.
What?
13 minutes. 2 hours.
And 13 minutes?
Yeah. Yes.
We could talk about one more thing. You know what? I'll roll one last spliff, because that's usually how we end things off. And I just poured this like half water shot of gin. I want to finish that. Gin brings the melancholy.
Yeah, it does.
but rum brings the jolly. I don't mind the melancholy though. I know how to make the melancholy into a jolly. What are people upset about? People are upset about. I don't even want to talk about what liberals are upset about. You know what? You know what?
Libs are really routed ever since Trump's election.
You know what I'll say? I'll say
everything's a lot chiller, but it also feels weirdly. Richie, when you compare this year compared to the last 4 years or the years before, doesn't it feel a lot
more muted.
Yeah, what do you think, Rich? Tell me about your feeling about this year compared to the last 5 years in New York.
It's like a mixture. Like things are more heightened, but also things are like more low energy too as well.
Give me some I'm sorry for time. Give me some examples. I want to pull you into talk while I'm smoking my pipe.
I don't know. Libs seem to be very exhausted currently. They're just tired now.
They've been defeated after 10 years of hysteria, 11 years of hysteria.
They're trying to use like right wing memes now, like culture signifier, like cultural like memes, like
All right.
Oh, you're Indian.
So that's your pulse on it.
Or physiognomy, yeah.
Here's what I say. I disagree with conservatives right now feeling threatened by leftists, liberals, queers. I think those people are barely hanging by a thread. They are the unemployed retard brigade of American society right now. You're making boogeymen.
That's true.
The conservatives are trying to make boogeymen out of like idiots, like incompetent assholes at this point. You know, so it's
especially given how divided things are since this election, even before it.
So
really, it's like when Biden took office, anti-Trump sentiment actually kind of lost all its steam.
All I'm saying is that, like, you know, it's basically what I want to tell conservatives is like, now what? You won. They did. They won the fucking culture war.
It's a very painful thing to admit.
But I knew this was going to happen. No smart person, all right, no person with pattern recognition abilities would have looked at the leftist side of the political spectrum and say, these guys are set up to win. No, it was looking at a bunch of fucking manicured nails, bourgeois fucking idiots, incompetent snobs. That's the word. It's one thing to be incompetent. It's one thing to be a snob, but to be an incompetent snob, which is what the whole entire, like, DNC, the left, that's what they were. And it's like, dude, you can't expect to get anywhere like that. And that's what they ran with. And it got them nowhere. And now they have to contend with that. And I say, like, as a conservative, stop beating a dead horse. And as a liberal or a leftist or whatever, get your fucking shit, get a job. Even if it starts at a gas station.
Conservatives have to have an actual cause to fight towards, and libs have to get a life.
Get a hobby, get a job, play the game.
It's true for both of them. Conservatives need to move on. I'm speaking about myself. Conservatives need to move on from people being mean to you in 2017.
Exactly. And the women too. You gotta forgive the left side.
All the women that you did not have sex with because of the Great Awakening, you need to get over it and live your life. And I'm speaking directly to
the ones
myself.
who shamed you for every little thing you do. You gotta forgive them. The ugly women who called you, the uglier women than you who called you ugly, like, you gotta forgive them too. You gotta forgive every fat girl that you gave a chance to and she ended up being a complete you gotta forgive them. You gotta forgive every hot girl who just ruined your life. Forgive her too. Forgive the women, forgive the gays, forgive the queers, forgive the trans people, forgive. Just forgive. Because as a conservatives, again, you fucking won. You could kill Charlie Kirk and it's still not going to make them any less homeless and broke and unemployed and stupid, you know, and on meds. Like, you can't. So just fucking live your life with gratitude. That's the answer.
Curtis Yarvin is supposedly freaking out, saying he's going to leave the United States.
Why?
Because he thinks that the conservatives aren't being harsh enough.
He's right. He's not wrong at all.
He's wrong all the time, so you can almost bet on.
What do you mean he's wrong all fucking time? What was he wrong about?
Yarvin, the
conservative. He won. Dude.
He did win, yeah. It's funny. He won.
He's got a pretty prolific blog, doesn't he?
What?
He's got a prolific blog, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. But he also was. He's so big on being a contrarian that everything he says you should read the opposite of and say, okay, this is the truth. And I suspect he deliberately does that. Does that make sense? His hobbits and dark elves is insightful, even though it's very stupid.
I could relate to that though. If culture is pushing me to be a conformist, I'm gonna be a contrarian.
Yeah,
and
same.
if culture is pushing
All
me,
three of us are extremely contrarian by nature.
However, if culture is pushing me to be a contrarian, you bet your ass I'm gonna be a fucking conformist.
Yeah, same.
If culture is pushing me to like divide amongst each other, I'm gonna be like, hey, what do we have in common? Because I just because I don't trust culture. I'm sorry. Like I appreciate culture
Richie, go on. Sorry.
What's like you actually this concept that's like 2,000 years old is actually wrong? Okay, I'm gonna push back against you if you say that to me. Like marriage is wrong. Okay, you're retarded. But so we're working for like 2,000 years now.
More than.
Yeah, more than that. We mean it's wrong. Or like
it's not that
family's wrong.
It's not that I want one or the other. It's I want balance. I don't want like one. I don't want both to be wrong or one to be wrong. I want balance. I want both. I want reconciliation. Because it's not what I want at that point, it's what the universe wants. Like regardless or not, like regardless of what you do, whether you do the right thing or not, the universe is going to force its way to balance whether all of us or you individually, both. You know, like the universe wants balance, it gets balance one way or another. So that's why I decided to value balance, because that's what the universe wants. I want to live in accordance with the universe, something that we all have to kind of bend our knee to at the end of the day, you know? Because also I feel like not only does it make me feel less alone, because it's just true for everyone, but it also makes me feel powerful. It also makes me feel like, you know what? Like it makes me feel powerful against my own negativity, you know? I don't care about feeling powerful over other people, you know, because like that doesn't really get you far, honestly, at the end of the day. Power over others is not, I mean, it's fun, I'm sure, like if you're a dictator or a king, but it probably gets old really quick because you're also responsible for the power over people, and it's not fun. It becomes a burden.
Yeah.
But if we're all like, you know, accountable for each other and everyone as human beings, not like as Americans or Arabs or Jews or Asians, you know, or Latinos or blacks or whites or Samoans or Syrians. Mm-hmm. Or South Africans or Australians. I am so happy, by the way. We'll end off with this. I am so happy about the fact that autism is finally losing its grip on our psyche. Autism is finally becoming a thing that's just not real anymore. Because I said this before. I was like, I can be the crazy guy who says autism is not real. However, that still leaves now people with a burden to prove that autism is just something that wasn't caused by Tylenol. You know, like good luck with that. Have fun with that. I'm just, you know, like,
I mean, the increase in autism is a mix of overly permissive social spheres and
overstimulation.
Overstimulation and also older parents. People having kids in their late 30s are more likely to have autistic children.
I just don't think autism was...
Yeah, is real. And I think there's a lot to that.
I mean, there was a time when autism was real, probably.
Ooh, intriguing. Go on.
I mean, maybe the most extreme cases, say in like the 80s. Like if you're overstimulated, poorly socialized, and lacking in general discipline, the symptoms manifest in a much more extreme way. But when you have those same symptoms, but in a world of TikTok, in a world of like fast food, in a world of fucking like, I don't know, like cannabis gummies, in a world of dick pills, in a world of instant pornography, in a world of fucking like crypto coins. Like,
yeah, no, Zoomers are really rotten due to the level of technological decadence they experience.
Yeah. I mean, now you got like a 19-year-old e-girl. She's like, I don't have to get a job at Starbucks. I could just trade my crypto with my OnlyFans gains every day, and I somehow like 2x my money every week. You know?
Anyway.
Same with streamers. But it's like, the question is, it's like, it has the part that doesn't make sense to me.
Yes.
I mean, I get the whole like, you know, content creation industry, and I get the whole like input output aspect. I get the whole production, supply and demand. Who the fuck is paying money for internet content? I don't think I've ever met a single person.
I think it's people younger than us. I think that because
the fuck are they doing?
we're so used to.
Carmen, it doesn't make any sense, dude. Who do you know? Do you know anyone that actually pays for, say, porn?
I probably do, and they haven't told me.
What
directly.
the fuck is that, dude? That's one thing. What about paying for, say, movies?
Oh,
what
a
the
lot
fuck?
of people do that.
What
I've
the
always
fuck
been
are you doing,
surprised
dude?
by people doing that, and also fucking women, interacting with women. I interact with it a lot more.
This is what I'm talking about, dude. Like,
No.
isn't it living in like a different reality, kind of?
Yeah, it is like living in a different reality. I don't know. I'm so used to torrenting everything, even with paying with the VPN. That's like a free pass for everything on the internet. I can understand paying for a VPN. I can't understand paying for a subscription service.
I mean, I pay for subscription services, but that's just for like novelty. It's not. It's like paying for a painting on the wall. But like, even I know, like, if I wanted to watch a movie that was out, and that I can't rely on a subscription service for, you think I'm gonna fucking like buy it? No.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fucking, I'm gonna torrent that shit.
Yeah.
You think I'm ever gonna pay for music ever again? Get the
No,
fuck
of
out of
course
here.
not. Streaming services really underline that. I can
Not only
understand
that, put it this.
I can understand paying for Spotify, but I would never pay for an individual album.
You want to hear something crazy? I could go on YouTube, record. I could go on YouTube, record the feedback from any of these fucking like YouTube video recordings, and I could master it myself and make it sound better, probably than distributed.
We 100% could, yes. Oh, careful.
No, that's the world we live in, where information is free.
So you want to close this out, man?
Yeah, let's close it out. I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, thank you to whoever is listening. Thank you to the world. Thank you to God. Thank you to friends. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Richie. It's been an honor meeting you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Richie. I want to say thank you to you, especially Richie. Also, Richie, are you still interested in learning video editing?
Whatever, man. Yeah, sure.
All right. Let's close it out.
Cool.